Everybody gets to say hey. Of course they do. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I just wanted everybody to also I checked volume and levels beforehand, so everybody should be good compared to the music. We'll do some adjustments as the game actually starts and everything like that, so nobody's getting drowned out. But I guess I think we're good. Thank you again.
Missed opportunity.
What was the missed opportunity?
And he's like, I was expecting gobbles for some reason.
What?
Valid.
All right, we need to mute alerts for now, just so it's not yelling. But yeah, no, alerts and everything will still be up for you guys. You'll still be able to see them. So if you resub or donate or whatever, it's all still up there. I just don't want it yelling and going crazy in the middle of everything. So, but Vagrant, if you want to, I'm gonna go ahead and flip over to the actual D&D screen. If you want to go ahead and start telling people kind of what we're doing here and giving the overview. So I'm gonna flip that over and hand it over to you.
All right, hello everybody. I am Vagrant, for those of you not familiar. I am a moderator and will be DMing our lovely campaign here set in the Eberron setting for 5th edition D&D. This campaign is loosely based on some module content that I'm kind of moving together to make for something that's evenly paced. Names, locations, and what such have been edited for the sake of obscuring the module so that people can't guess at what we're doing, though some of you who may put on your tinfoil hats might guess anyway. In any case, our story kind of takes us to the plane of Eberron. Eberron, for those of you not in the know on crazy D&D nonsense, is kind of a Magitech-y pulp steampunk adventure setting. Once we kind of get into it, I'll be doing sort of our opening text crawl to bring y'all up to speed on events that have happened in the world leading up to our fair adventure as our party ventures into the mountains to see what there is to see and find the sources of mysteries. But with that, as Nick said, we'll be using D&D Beyond for a lot of our character management and Roll20 mostly for maps. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've got wonderful maps that are results of, various artists with Patreons and things like that you are free to look up, and giving credit where credit is due, because they allow you to use your maps for streams and tokens and etc. as long as you credit them. Does anyone have any questions before we get started?
Think I'm good.
I'm good.
I think I'm all settled.
Okay, sweet deal. So, to bring you all into the ambiance of what is going on, allow me to switch our music over and begin. It has been 20 years since the end of the last war. A conflict that began as a war of succession soon spiraled into a generation-defining conflict around land, technological ideology, and magic. It has also been 20 years since the Morning, a cataclysmic event of unknown origin that leveled the entire province of Sire, once capital of the Siren Empire, now a tattered scar across the land and horrible reminder of ages long past. On that day, the entire capital and surrounding area were enveloped in a white fog and flashing red light, before being reduced to a salt flat and desert where magic runs wild and nothing really could grow back. In the time since the last war, the nations of Kovare have enjoyed peace. Nature has reclaimed many of the battlefields left ravaged in the conflict, and the Conclave, a mysterious group of mages, have brought about a magical technological revolution. With the aid of the dragon-marked houses, those with the blessing of the creator dragons of Eberron, and gifted with unique magical abilities by marks resembling tattoos on their bodies. In the wake of the war and the destruction of Sire, there is a desperate effort of many nations to find, seal, redact, and destroy records of Siren technology and research that has since been branded Forbidden Tech. This has also led to a thriving black market for research and materials from Old Sire, and a competing market of the dragon-marked houses, scholars, and mages who wish to see all forms of that forbidden technology expunged from the historical record. Which brings us to a well-lit boardroom in a bank house of Kundarak in the bustling city of Irontown, just in the shadow of Krona Peak in the Iron Root Mountains. Sitting at the head of this table is a man in a trench coat and hat, wearing a metal mask carved with a numeral 4 at its center. Has everyone signed their paperwork? Good. Then I can begin your briefing. I represent the Conclave, and you have been hired to search out the lab of one Dr. Gabriel, a Syrian scientist whose body of research includes not only interplanar magics, but artifice related to planar travel. You will be taken by airship commissioned by House Lyrander to the north shore of Mirror Lake. From there, you will be tasked to head north into the mountains to his last known location, a research lab of sorts. We've provided you with some maps, but the caves and tunnel systems leading up through the mountains are labyrinthine and often shifting. Of course, if you bring us back Gabriel alive, you'll be paid handsomely. However, confirmation of his death or last known location and whereabouts will be sufficient, and any additional artifacts and research materials you can bring back, as per your contract, will also be paid for in full. The man looks around the table at the party that has been assembled for this expedition. So let's go ahead and go around the table and tell me who our individual sees. Let's go ahead and start with Stein.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know we were actually going to start with me. Well, my name is
Ready?
Stein. I am a Warforged, as you all can see. I don't know much about myself or where I come from. I actually woke up at the bottom of a lake in the Mournland. I don't know how I got there, how long I've been there. And on my quest out of the lake, I found a pawn shop underwater full of merfolk who somehow convinced me to acquire this potentially cursed sword, which I have with me, as well as an old wedding dress and some type of explosive device. We don't know what it is. I am a typical Warforged, as you can see. I do, however, do not know my designation. All I have available to me is P-1-N-, and hopefully I can figure out what that designation is. As far as myself, a bit carefree and awkward, especially when it comes to just interacting with people in general. My name Stein actually has a humorous story behind it. I was actually in a tavern on my way out of the lake, once I exited the lake, rather. And due to some of my programming, I compulsively stack cups. Now, unfortunately, the patrons of that establishment were not very happy when I began stacking their beer steins together. So they chased me out of the tavern, screaming, "Stop messing with our beer steins," which is where my name Stein comes from. And that's about all I have for right now, and I'm sure we'll learn more as we go on.
Yes, we believe that Stein, as he's called himself, was designed by Dr. Gabriel, and hoping that he can serve as a beacon or guide to the lab's location should you get him close enough. So, sitting next to Stein is... let's go with Casimir.
Hi. Casimir is a Kalashtar with a family that had from Fairhaven. His parents are from both Sire and was it Ondare?
Mm-hmm.
And he studied at the Arcanics in Fairhaven. Sometime after his graduation, he had taken up in Krona Peak with extended family to... oh, do I need to get turned up?
I got you, yeah.
Okay. To help with... dang it. extended family in Krona had sent word of opportunities as an archaeological researcher for one of the many dwarven merchants and mining interests making efforts to prevent incursions of the Delkir as they dug into the deep kingdoms, the old dwarven settlements and cities deep under the mountains. In those depths, Casimir had stumbled onto some kind of artifact or other of the Delkir court cults that had bound him to a rogue spirit, an aberration that had been corrupted with the necromantic energies of them. Ever since then, he has been working with the different agencies around Karnath as both a researcher in the work that he had previously been doing, as well as a healer with the Jarasco clinics.
Yes. Anything else?
I believe that's everything.
Excellent. Casimir has been hired as your medic and guide to the mountains as someone experienced with this line of work, and actually comes referred by our artificer, Ashisa.
That's me. Hi, hello there. I'm Ashisa. It's nice to meet you. Clearly, I've worked with you before. I am an agent of House Cannith. I'm a Yuan-ti. As you can tell, I'm green and I've got snake eyes and all that. What can I say? I'm talented, beautiful, amazing, and very powerful. I'm good with machines, and everyone knows it. As you do. I'm working for Cannith. Obviously, Gabriel was related to him. So I'm here to investigate, help out. We all want to find out what happened to him, and I'm here to help.
Yes, our chief machinist will be in charge of any technological discoveries you may come across in your expedition, which, last but not least, leaves us with Alicia, who is our representative of House Lyrander, and your ticket northward via airship.
Hi, everyone. Alicia is a half elf, and you can see the mark on the storm on the left side of her neck. She's generally pretty outgoing, happy to look and find all of the things. She's met everyone at least 1 or 2 times at this table, because she works for Lyrander. And she was on the ships, either security or helping out with repairs and things like that. So that's part of why she's here. And she's ready to go.
All right. And to provide a little bit more context for the chat, as 2 different houses have been mentioned, the dragon-marked houses in Eberron are essentially noble organizations with specific specializations in magic that are aided by dragon marks, mystical tattoos that appear on people at about puberty in some cases that enhance magic of certain varieties. House Lyrander is in charge of all lightning rail and airship travel within the continent of Kravari, and House Cannith is in charge of all technological and artifice. They kind of have the monopoly on that. Our starting location is in Irontown. There's currently a House Lyrander airship parked in the middle of the lake there, awaiting to take our party northward to their initial destination. Now, I've given you your briefing. Are there any remaining questions, items of preparation, or curiosities that you may have before we send you on your way?
I think I'm good to go. I pack light.
Excellent. Then, if there are no further questions, Alicia, see them to the airship and rendezvous at the point north of Mirror Lake.
Can do. Shall we?
All right,
Let's
let's
shout.
go.
And with that, the party boards an airship situated in one of the docks on the lake, smooth sailing up over the Ironroot Mountains and to the northern reaches of Mirror Lake, where I have moved your map, Dorito, to indicate your current location up to the northeast. From here, you'll be setting out. You will be setting out north. And how we're going to do this, since you got a little bit of travel to get to the first location, is we're going to do travel rolls. Now, how I like to handle travel rolls as a DM is doing 3 rolls per day of travel. So you have a prep roll, you have a travel roll, and you have a camp roll. So to kind of flex a little bit of your skills, get you all used to rolling some dice. Basically, how those work is prep roll can be anything from like, I am going to put away camp, pack things up, use a sleight of hand check or what have you to organize kind of your day. Do all of your prep, give people a rousing speech, whatever. Your travel roll is your navigation, your survival, the thing that allows you to move from point A to point B based on who is kind of leading the pack. And then finally, the camp roll could be a perception check, and this or anything else that covers everything from setting up camp to keeping an eye out to doing watch. So, who wants to take our prep roll for day 1 as you venture into the mountains?
What's prep roll again? Could you remind me?
Prep roll would be any skill check that you want to use for things like checking your supplies, breaking camp, motivating your party members.
So, like, various.
Yeah,
things,
various.
Right? Okay,
Pick
got
a
it.
skill, convince me as to why it's your prep roll.
What
Well,
would be... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Since it's prep, I do have various infusions as an artificer that I can put on magical items. I could roll
Alright.
for intelligence and infuse things if we want. I can do 3 per after a long rest. But it depends on what we want. I have a few options. But if anyone else has any ideas, feel free to present.
Well,
I could do it.
that sounds good to me. I think, do we all have some form of magical item on our person at the moment? Does anybody have anything of note?
So it would be
I
a
have one.
regular item that I would
Okay.
turn into a
So it'd be
magical item.
Got it. Okay.
But still a solid question if you all are planning on kind of sharing what magical items you may or may not have on your person, just for the benefit of everybody knowing what you got.
Well, as I stated early on, the only magical item I have was what may be a potentially cursed sword that I did receive from these merfolk when I was underwater. It's a great sort of life stealing. Haven't really ever had many chances to test it out, so we're not sure exactly what it's capable of, but I do have that. As far as that's about all I have as far as magical items go. Everything else is pretty standard fare. Plate armor, all that stuff. So does anybody else have anything else they want to share?
Casimir has what appears to be like a little golden badge or button on his jacket, but if he taps it, it pops out a little set of wings and is like a little mechanical bee. And what this bee does is it'll hover around somebody, go land on them, and heals them a bit.
How does it go about healing them?
Here, I can...
Injection, I believe.
Was it just through the magical might of its bee aura?
It touches them with its stinger,
Oh, okay.
which is like a little rounded nub on it.
Okay.
Oh.
Electrolysis by Stinger.
Hmm.
Or glorious, glorious heals.
I have a picture.
Hope no one's allergic, huh?
Yeah. I hope the pain of getting jammed with the stinger is, less than whatever you're currently suffering from. Because I would imagine a minor headache, I'd probably take that over the bee sting.
True.
If I got headaches, which I don't. So, I can only imagine.
While technically I have many magical items, the only obvious one currently on my person is one ring on my hand. And what it does is it is a quick change ring. So basically, I can take out my armorer my artificer armor whenever I want to. So normally heavy armor gives disadvantage, but with this ring I can take it on and off at will. And it makes things very convenient. And currently I am sans armor. So I'm just in like a minimal, like, blue tight suit with some fancy little bits on top. Easy to move around in, quiet, you know.
Sweet deal.
Also,
All right.
I meant to share that for the party's benefit, since I know that some people can become a bit uncomfortable when it comes to Warforged sleeping patterns, since our eyes and ears do not shut off. I actually have a blanket with me, so you can throw a blanket over me whenever we do rest, so people are not uncomfortable by me just glaring into the distance.
We don't just give you a cup in the corner and have you play all night? That?
No, I don't mind the shutdown, since my arms and legs don't work when I'm shut down, but my eyes and ears do. I, of course, have the blanket for you guys to drape over me so no one gets uncomfortable. I also have some bagpipes. Now, I'm not sure why, but I do have some skill in playing the bagpipes, even though I don't get to do it very often. But I do have them, and I'm not sure where I acquired that skill.
Bagpipes would work for a prep roll, if you wish to, performance upon your bagpipes.
I would
Down for that.
I would love to blast the bagpipes before we head out.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure you
I
can
could use
start
some cheering up. Bagpipe
Alright.
music.
Hit that bagpipe melody.
Okay.
Feel like we need a bagpipe button on a soundboard or something.
I think we'll have to add that for the second go. Okay, so what type of what type of roll do I need to do for the?
So it's just a d20 plus your proficiency, unless your performance is higher.
Okay.
So just either like your straight proficiency bonus, since you are proficient in bagpipes, or performance, depending on which one of those two rolls has a bigger bonus.
Okay. And where can I find performance? Is that under
Skills.
under skills? Okay. Sorry, I'm still working my way
yeah.
around this.
Your performance is a charisma skill. You have a +2 in it.
Okay.
So just roll a performance check for me.
Okay, I actually have a proficiency of +3. Would it be better to do that? Since that's technically a higher... Or do I want to go...
Since that's technically... So add the +3 since you're proficient in the bagpipes.
Okay, and then we
So
just roll
roll
a
your
d20,
+2
you
then.
said?
Yeah, d20 +5 in this case.
Okay. Looks like that was a 12, and then you said to add...
5.
Okay,
So your proficiency. So, yeah. Stein, pulls out bagpipes, and to the alarm of possibly everyone, including the crew of the airship that you're disembarking from, does a really good job on the bagpipes. Whether bagpipes are your variety of music that you enjoy or not is up for interpretation, but it's a bop. So you're off to a good start today, as Stein has lifted your spirits with a jaunty bagpipe tune, which certainly will not get old 12 hours into walking.
She's just into it. She's like, oh, wow. It's great. Good job.
Alessia's just bopping down the road. That's good.
He's bobbing and boopling.
Yeah,
So
bopping and booping.
Now for our travel roll, someone other than Stein can make anything from a survival check to a navigation tools check if you've got that, or cartography, whatever sort of skill that you want to use to chart your course into the mountains.
I'm afraid I'm a little more useful once we get into the tunnels.
I have a 1 on survival, but a 4 on nature. Would that work?
Nature would work. You are navigating a natural environment.
Let me do that then.
Alright, give me that nature check.
Do you see it?
Okay, 17, yeah. You're doing pretty solid. You make it to the foothills of the mountains, kind of find the entrance to some of the tunnels that may be familiar to Casimir. As Casimir may know, the tunnel systems in here are everything from old burrowing animals to natural caves to glacial runoff and residue, and they tend to be a little bit of a labyrinth, often with subsets of markings to indicate directionality or any sort of place to go. So given that you will have just entered the tunnels, no other rules in the log.
Ignore that. It took forever to pop
Gotcha.
up. I don't know why.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah, so given that you kind of spend most of your first day sort of crossing this plain towards the mountains and arrive at the foothills, by the end of your first day, you're making camp sort of in the mouth of one of these caves. So, who wants to take the lead on making camp?
And Stein and I
Casimir
can't
or
roll,
Alicia?
right?
Yeah, you guys have done other jobs today, so Casimir or Alicia. And this could be perception for keeping watch. This could be survival for making camp. If you're proficient in, like, cook's tools, you could be like, I'm cooking dinner.
+0 in all of those.
Same.
Wait,
Same.
okay. So I have a cantrip called Guidance. Can I use that to assist? Or am I done?
You can use guidance to assist in this
I'm gonna
scenario,
give
yes.
guidance. So whenever you roll, you're gonna have an extra 1d4 on your roll.
Okay,
Hot dang.
so yeah.
Nice. All right, I'll do it. It's fine. I'll just roll perception and make sure things aren't weird.
I'm gonna pat your back and say, you can do it. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
I
So
don't
yeah,
know how you
roll
add a
that
one
D20.
before. How do you do that on here? Can you do that?
So you would roll the d20 and then roll the d4 after.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Is there a way
Alright.
to roll just a d4? I don't know how to do that.
There should be in the bottom of your character sheet.
Oh, there's a
little,
dice
like,
thing.
dice-shaped thing.
I got it.
You can click that to roll dice. Okay, so that's 20. So yeah, you set up a really good perimeter. You're kind of backed into one of these tunnels, so you're really just keeping an eye out over the land. And you're far enough north that there's not a whole lot of anything going on at all. So the night passes relatively easily, and we move on to day 2 to navigate the tunnels.
Before we go anywhere, I want
Mhm.
to establish my artificer abilities since we
Yep.
rested. And I kind of like put down a bag and I'm like, all right, who wants what? So I've got a few things. I have a few infusions. I am going to take 2 of them for my armor and weapons, but I have a third one. We can do Eyes of Charming, which charms people. We've got a spell refueling ring or a cloak of elven kind, which makes things sneaky. Who wants what?
Can somebody get the blanket off me so I can see these things?
Pull the blanket off of him. Pull the blanket off the warlord.
Oh,
Love
thank
the
God.
concept of Stein just sitting in a corner, unable to move because of blanket.
The bird.
Yeah.
What would you mind relisting what the items were again?
Okay, so I have Eyes of Charming, which basically, let's see. Oh, it doesn't say it here. Basically, it is an eyeglass that has 3 charges for the Charm Person spell. So if we run into anyone who needs to be magically convinced, those glasses help. The spell refueling ring essentially gives someone an extra spell slot of any level of spell. And then the Cloak of Elven Kind gives, what is it? It helps with stealth rolls, essentially. So I believe you get advantage on whatever you wear.
My limited ability to use spells until we have time to settle in. If you don't mind, I would take that ring.
Here you go. And I give it to you. So now you get 1 extra free spell slot of whatever spell level you want for the day.
It's pretty
Okay.
good for a warlock.
And I am going to enhance my weapon, and I am going to enhance my defense. So I have a +1 for both. And now those will be my charges for the day.
All right, sweet deal. And we'll count that as kind of your prep for the day, especially since you're venturing into the tunnels.
Yes.
So for the tunnels, if somebody wants to give me an investigation check.
Yeah, I think that's going to be me, because this is his job.
Hit me with it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Oh, that's sick.
oh, that's
Sweet.
wait. It says intimidation.
It does it?
It does.
You
Oh,
did roll an intimidation check there,
wrong
which would
item.
explain some things.
That's better.
Oh, he's so
That's
scary.
much better. There you go. That
Hey.
was terrifying. Okay, so
That was the wrong IN.
you all spend the day kind of moving your way through these tunnels, and you all manage to pick up some miscellaneous weirdness as you're walking through the tunnels. So everyone go ahead and give me a D100, so a percentile die.
Oh no.
Is this stretch of the mountain familiar to Casimir? with any
You're kind of
the-
familiar with this entrance. It's a little bit far north for you. But you know some of like the Dalekir cant and stuff that's written on the walls to kind of guide people. Okay, so we've got 75, 25, 74, and 13. All right. So we've got a little bit of a loot. So let me double check those rolls. So, Alicia, you find, as you're kind of poking around, a rod tipped with a blunt metal pincer that's grip can be adjusted by turning a screw at the base. As you're picking through the caverns and caravans, there's just, a lot of junk lying around that is of kind of semi-unknown origin. And Casimir, you are going to find a bronze gauntlet set with many slots. So there's slots all across the knuckles of this gauntlet that appear relatively circular in origin. Upon attempting to slot a ball bearing into one of them, you find that anything put into the slot is violently expelled out of that slot quite quickly. Gotta cross-reference back to our rolls here. Stein, my boy. Stein, as you pick around the caverns, you find an inflatable bedroll made of some unknown material that seems to have a leak of some kind. You really have no idea what to do with this. You're like, could be a raft, might be a raft. Seems like it'd float. It's very light.
So
Finally,
let me get this straight.
yes,
It's inflatable, but it's wet.
it's inflatable, but it's leaky.
Oh, it's leaky. Okay, I thought you were trying to imply that this thing was moist, and I was a little bit afraid as to why there would be
Probably
a
a
moist
little
bed.
moist in the cave.
Okay, that's disconcerting, but okay. Great. All right. What I'm gonna do with this?
You find an unusual handheld tube that when you press a button on its base, it sucks in dust and captures it in a small detached compartment. It's very loud.
Can
when
I
you do
roll
this.
Arcana to see if it can catch ghosts?
You absolutely can roll an Arcana to
Oh.
see if it can catch ghosts. Give me your artificer expertise. What do you think this thing can do?
Wow.
23.
Thank
You're
many
fairly
thanks.
certain that given the amount of suction that this thing has, despite how loud it is, the amount of suction is not great.
Oh,
And it does appear to only be able to suck in like material objects. You may attempt to like conjure an illusion or a flame or whatever to suck it in. Doesn't work. Not strong enough.
useless.
Well, hang on. How loud is this thing exactly? Is it louder or quieter than the bagpipes?
It's louder than the bagpipes.
Unreal.
Wow.
We might be able to
Wow.
use this.
Powerful. We could be a force for reckoning,
absolutely.
I mean,
we
it
could,
would be a great distraction.
we could scare away threats with this. I mean, most creatures would be terrified at the sound of it.
We could
Might
combine
be
it
able to hook it up into
to
the
like make
bagpipes.
a dissonant whispers kind of thing, you know?
Ooh.
Just scare off everyone coming our way, like within 1,000 miles.
I like this. See? We can use this. As a matter of fact, we could maybe, well, I guess we couldn't turn the whatever moist bedroll I have into a bomb via suction.
I could vacuum seal it with my vacuum.
We could. I think you could vacuum seal my head so you don't have to throw the blanket over me anymore.
See, we have a plan. It's working.
Oh my god. So, in addition to your miscellaneous kind of finds in this wreckage, and Casimir, this may be somewhat concerning to you as you appear to kind of be venturing in a direction that is not on a lot of the charts, maps, or even sort of professional conversations that happen in bars around the archaeological stuff. You're kind of in uncharted territory here, and you're not quite sure why, but you do start to notice the names of various criminals kind of scrawled on the walls of, you know, like, the Phantom Thief Ravenshade was here, and that is accompanied with, in that same Dalekir cant that you're used to, signage and arrows pointing to something called the Monastery of the Distressed Body.
That certainly sounds concerning.
That's
I wanted to roll back and get a closer look at the gauntlet.
Alright, yeah.
And maybe
Mhm.
also Ashisa's opinion on it. Is it going to be Arcana as well, or...
I can definitely do a roll. You want me to do like a artificer investigation type deal, or what would work?
I mean, you also got your sorcerer to look into it too.
Mm.
Yeah, either of you could do an Arcana check. You're unsure at this juncture if the gauntlet is magical or mechanical. So you could have Arcana or Investigation related to that, or both.
I'll try an Arcana.
Okay. So hit us with another Arcana, Ashisa.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna do an investigation because
Okay.
we have that covered already, I think.
Yeah.
While you all are doing that, the half elf is just using her claw thing to pick things up and put them down.
Yep. it's got a little grippy on the end of it. You just have to twist the screw.
Pick it up and
And
put
it
it down. And then
Got
she's
all
seeing
sorts
how
of
much
other
she can
stuff.
throw and how far she can throw it.
Throwing is a little cumbersome.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But yeah, give me that investigation check on this gauntlet. Okay, so 24, pretty good. So as far as you can tell, this gauntlet was clearly made to hold something. And it appears to be, there's kind of minor enchantments and runes carved around the individual divots across the knuckles that appear to expel anything that is not the thing that is supposed to fit in there. What is supposed to fit in there, you're not quite sure. But it puts a dent in the wall when you try and like put something into the socket that isn't supposed to go in there. Like it is not an easy little, you know, like poop out. It's a, you know, hard and fast ejection.
But we could use this as a weapon as well.
You could.
We could put a rock in it and, you know.
Just send it
Toss things
straight
out.
through someone.
The potential options are very nice.
Yes, it will effectively cast the catapult spell at level 1 if you put an object into it.
Nice.
Nice.
And if we happen to find the complete thing, might be worth some money.
I'm a little afraid of what the complete thing may be if it's already that powerful with the wrong object in.
The ultimate Nerf blaster. Well, these are terrifying.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
No, we have
I mean, mine just pick stuff up.
for
Okay,
now.
that's
I do
pretty
love
good.
the idea of everyone else having these like terrifying things, and Alicia's just like, I pick things up and put them down.
That's right.
I don't know what to do
Yeah,
with
it is
mine
the-
either. I'm kind of just dragging it behind me because it's
Definitely
slowly.
terrifying.
Every time I put air in this thing, it slowly just leaks out. So I don't know what to do with it.
Roll it up, stick it in your backpack.
Yeah, so.
Leave it behind.
No, we're not leaving it behind. This thing could be the most useful item ever. So
Just
we'll hang
you
on to
wait
it.
till the moment we need it. It'll be
It's
good.
true. We might need to float down a river.
Might. And we will only be able to do that for about 4 minutes before this thing's out of air.
And only one of us, probably.
And to circle back to Casimir, since you are familiar with this area, these types of artifacts aren't what you're used to seeing. They're definitely not Delkier in origin. They're not Dwarven in origin. They're kind of weird. By every sort of factor that you might be aware of.
Yeah, I was about to ask, I mean, at least the gauntlet and the vacuum tube, you'd think that would have been picked through by now.
Yeah, which makes it kind of a little bit more concerning as you're working your way through these tunnels. Because there's just piles of this kind of stuff. Just at junctions, near tunnel entrances, next to these sort of carved symbols that again point towards that monastery of the distressed body.
Are we positive we didn't stumble into a landfill?
Mm. It's like an artifact landfill. It's a flea market.
No, if the mining companies got through here, they would have melted this down for scrag.
Okay. Can I look at those little, scratching, like Leroy Jenkins was here and stuff?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can translate. And he points out God, I've already forgotten the full monastery's name.
Monastery of the distressed body.
Can I do a history check to see if I know anything about that?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Would I have heard that anywhere?
Give me a history check and let's find out.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you've got no idea.
Oh, it's some kind of monastery. I don't see a church around here.
And usually such things are emptied out by the time we cross it.
Oh,
Any kind of familiarity on my end?
You go ahead and give me a D100. Okay, so you remember kind of hearing some rough and tumble mercenary types who came through your clinic several months ago talk about seeking refuge at a monastery. They were talking about it as if they were running from the law, and that it was a place so far into the mountains that authorities could not find you. But they were operating off of a rumor.
So that sounds weird that they'd be using Delkier down here, then. If it's something recent, you'd imagine people would use the thieves' cant. Although if they wanted it to blend in...
you think it's some kind of message?
I think some of this is a lot more recent than the script would suggest.
Okay, keep an eye out. Alright, I'm putting on my armor. And I'm gonna, push a little button on my ring. And just, imagine a Power, Rangers morph sequence. Just, bits of, teal and orange armor kind of, come up and pop out of the ring. And I just kind of hop up and, land down, and the ground rumbles a little bit as my heavily modded armor comes up. I'm much clankier now, but I am much more reinforced. There's people around here. I'm going to be ready.
All right. Well, you all continue most of the rest of your day through the tunnels, sort of following some of these leads. It's really the only defined path that you can find until suddenly you emerge onto a narrow cliff overlooking a valley with an observatory situated at the cliff's very top. And atop that observatory rests a lion-like creature with a human woman's head, as stairs sort of pick up the cliffside. You're not sure if it's spotted you yet, but you do see, kind of around the cliff and overlooking this cloud-filled, impossibly deep valley, a floating stone structure of some kind that appears to just be hovering there. There's smokestacks emitting off the top of it that are belching mostly red fire. There's not a lot of smoke coming out, but it just seems to be hovering there.
Okay.
A lot of these structures atop it are pyramidal, ziggurat-in shaped, and appear to be made of a wide variety of materials from what you can see here. But the observatory itself is a stone and metal structure.
And is this, like, lion woman-headed creature by any sort of entrance?
It is currently lounging on the roof of the building, kind of in a way that only a cat can, with several limbs dangling off the side.
Cat. Every time.
Is this creature moving at all, or do we even know, like, are we sure it's alive? It's not some kind of weird statue or something like that?
Give me a perception check.
All right. Everything loaded up here. And I just roll for perception. Well,
yep.
Is it possible that we should have someone else roll for perception on this, or do I need to do it?
You asked the question,
all right.
So you go ahead and do it.
This might be a terrible mistake.
You've never seen a creature like this before, so you're not necessarily sure if it's building ornamentation or not. From your current vantage point, you can see that there is a lot of metal on it. So you're kind of having this moment of cognitive dissonance of trying to figure out, is that just like some sort of weird gargoyle on the roof? Is it actually a thing? Is it dead?
Okay.
Any familiarity with what symbols that we could see from here?
Yeah,
Or on the
so
building?
symbols on the building kind of seem to be mostly astrological markers. Cassius, you would be somewhat, or Casimir, don't know why I keep saying Cassius. Casimir, you would be somewhat familiar with kind of the astrological signs sort of around the edge of the building. It seems to mostly be a positional chart for the outside to reflect the inside, with the individual sort of sun and moon motifs being windows into the inside to align the telescope to.
Okay, so that is pretty visible from our vantage point as well.
Yeah.
So what it is going to be obvious to him, since I think some of the clinics have those up top.
Mm-hmm. You know no reported record of one of these being in the mountains this far out?
Can I do a general, like, knowledge roll to see if I know anything about this creature, and if its wisdom would be high?
Give me a nature check.
Well, I've never heard of anything about an observatory being found out here.
Well, that's weird.
Don't like the look of that thing either.
You're like reasonably sure this is some kind of sphinx.
Mm,
You remember reading about sphinxes back in your academy days?
Sphinx.
And you've got
Definitely
like
Sphinx.
just a general vibe of what it is, but again, it looks kind of heavily augmented. Areas around its head have been completely replaced by machine, and it's got several what appear to be small metal spheres orbiting its head.
Well, it's definitely a pretty kitty. Had some shop work done, I think. Now, I'm wondering if I'd be able to do a little, animal friendship, but looking at that thing, I don't think so. I mean, we could just sneak around it if it's asleep. Or we could just punch
That's
it.
worth the effort.
I was about to say I don't know if we'd be able to sneak with me around. So
Well, I can do something about that. I have a little invisibility if we need it, and I can always take off my armor.
okay. What do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to try to sneak around it, or do we want to try to call out to it?
Well, what's
We
the
could-
likelihood it's gonna try and eat us for breakfast?
I like problems to solve. I don't like riddles. They're different, you know?
They are different.
We could fire up the bagpipes and the not vacuum cleaner and see if we can scare it off.
Just give it a headache, see
Yeah.
if it goes away.
I mean-
Terrify it.
I'm not hating the idea.
And we could just blow it out of the auditory water, so to speak.
Well, on the off chance that simply upsets it, Stein, Shisa, would either of you mind carrying this? And he holds up a little pendant.
I
Oh,
can
what's-
definitely carry it. Yeah.
What is that thing?
A little extra protection.
Oh.
What type
I
of
mean,
protection are we talking?
Should something hurt you, it will hurt them back.
Oh. I mean, Stein can have it if he wants.
No, I think you can have that if you want it.
White kitted. I'll take it. No complaints here. Trust me. I'll take it. I can take a few hits, you know.
All right. So
I
you
put on
hand-
the amulet.
All right. So what's y'all's plan? You sneaking past it? You calling out to it?
I like the idea of calling out to it or trying to terrify it, but it's up to you guys. Because I would say if things go south, I suppose if we do that, what would be our backup plan? Because this thing could be pretty
punch it.
dangerous, considering it's augmented in some way, so we don't really know exactly what its capabilities are.
True. I mean, do we really want to get into a harrowing fight right at the beginning of this little adventure of ours?
I mean, we might not have a choice.
How sneaky are we?
Slightly sneaky.
I'm also slightly sneaky.
I believe.
And then we have one stompy boy.
Yes, I have a disadvantage when it comes to stealth.
I can do something about that, though. Oh,
you-
should have gotten the cloak. Should have done the
If you-
cloak.
If you make him invisible, he still gets disadvantage from plate armor, but the invisibility gives him advantage, so it's just regular roll.
Okay.
Right.
It's
It
still
would even out.
still pretty low as far as that whole thing goes, even if we did cancel it out. So, however, if we do get into an altercation with it, I do believe in our group. I think we have got a rather proficient team here. I think we can handle most of what's thrown at us.
Try to play ball. These Sphinx often have riddles. I'm clever, but personally I'm awful at riddles. We could always just have a backup plan. I do have a heat metal spell. That will take a while to prep, though.
Okay. Now, what would it require to, if we were to call out to this or try to communicate with it in some way, what type of check would that be?
That would not be a check. You would just call out to it, and I would tell you what happens.
Okay.
So make our approach, and if things go awry, Maybe throw that vacuum and see if that gets its attention while we get past it.
I like that idea.
True, that's a good idea.
So please don't make me
Okay.
throw my bagpipes. That's all I've got.
we have the vacuum before we have the bagpipes. Don't you worry.
Okay, so you approach and call out to it. The creature kind of languidly raises its head, stretches in the characteristic, Halloween cat thing, and jumps down off the roof. And appraises you with one mechanical eye and one extremely knowing other eye. So you wish for passage across?
That would be convenient for you.
Do you bring knowledge for me?
Oh? What kind of knowledge?
The toll to cross is to ask a question that I do not know the answer to. Or, if that is too difficult, I will merely take my price by other means.
All right. Can we huddle? Is that okay?
Take your time.
I'm curious if it's as threatening as it claims to be.
Got a pretty big eye.
So if we have to ask it something that it does not know, does that mean we do have to know it? Right.
Do you think
So-
you think I can ask him why this air mattress is wet? He probably doesn't know the answer to that question.
Do you think they know why you were under the bottom of the lake?
That's a good question too,
That's a
actually.
good
I don't even know that. Oh, we could ask him what my designation is.
Oh, there
Even
you
I
go.
don't know what my designation is.
Now here's another question. This isn't the official question. I'm asking the Sphinx here. This doesn't count. This is just a clarification type of thing. Now, are we all asking questions, or is this like one main shebang,
Should your question prove amusing or difficult enough, I could be convinced to let your entire party pass and call the ferryman.
Ooh, if we don't ask him about my designation, we could ask what the nature of the bronze gauntlet is. But I'm actually fearful that he knows the answer to that question, considering how close it was to him in proximity.
I mean, personally, I'm just thinking of pulling like a hobbit and just asking like what I have for breakfast,
Or what's in my pockets?
I do like the personal aspect of it. I am worried
I
about
like
what's in my
that too.
pockets because he does have that mechanical eye, and we don't know what that's
Wow.
capable of.
It's true.
You got a good point.
Yeah.
And in my stomach.
Might know that too. However, if we do ask about designation, all we know now, or I know, is that it's P, error, 1, error, N, error. So I don't even know.
But you don't know the answer. I mean, that's pretty safe. Or we could do like one of those things where it's like, what's your favorite food? And then they get really freaked out about it. Because they don't even know.
I'm afraid he's going to say half elf.
Oh,
It's
it's a
true.
good point.
I don't want to be lunch.
Snake people are chewy, so I think I'm okay.
Okay, so what's the question? Are we going to even ask it a question? So it's between question, because we've got a couple that might work, or we can call its bluff and see if this thing's as strong as it claims it is.
I the
we
lore
could at least-
backstory.
We could at least play the game and see how it goes.
I agree. Yeah, it's a little bit safer that way.
The worst thing that happens is we play ball. Or, we fail and then we fight it.
Okay, so we've decided on question. What question do you guys want to ask it?
Why were you down in the lake? I'm curious about that. That sounds very interesting.
Okay.
It seems worth asking. And there's nothing about us having to know the answer, right?
If we
Actually,
don't even
was-
know the answer, then how will they know? Unless they're really obsessed with you.
Yeah, I don't think they would know the answer to either of the questions that we've thought of. Or we could ask for lottery numbers.
Oh, that's a good point.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Like, who do you think is gonna win the Super Bowl? But we already know that.
Okay, I guess let's ask it why I was abandoned at the bottom of a lake in the moorland. But the question is, who wants to ask?
I think technically that would have to be you doing the asking.
Okay, we can do that. Are y'all ready? I guess.
All
Are
right.
you asking lake or are you asking designation?
Lake might be a bit too. Do y'all? I feel like designation might be a little bit safer because I don't think he's going to know.
You ask. I want to start prepping my heat metal.
Okay.
It takes a minute to start, so that should be more than enough time to ask and receive at least an answer. So if things are a problem, we'll be good to go. But otherwise, we play ball.
Before I ask it this question, am I able to, because I'm not sure exactly how timing works here. Now, if we were to, am I able to like precast something? Because I do know Featherfall, in case we need to make a quick escape. Am I able to cast that on the party beforehand, or does that have to be a reaction?
So to kind of like clarify some spell rules, so heat metal's casting time is 1 action, which technically is 6 seconds. Its duration is a minute, meaning that the effect
okay,
of the spell lasts a minute.
Sorry, I
Featherfall.
misread that.
Yeah, no worries. Featherfall as a spell. Featherfall also lasts for a minute, and its casting time is 1 reaction. So you can cast Featherfall in reaction to jumping or falling off the cliff or whatever.
Okay, so
I'll
And
just
that will affect the
brace
entire party.
okay,
then.
so
It
So you
doesn't
can
need
ready
prep
your
time.
action. Yeah, you can ready your action and be ready to like cast it if things go bad.
I do
That's
that.
absolutely doable. Okay.
now we have more potent spellcasters in here than myself, but if we do need that, that is available. So I guess
Indeed.
while you prep, I asked the creature the question, and did we decide designation or did we decide like?
I think the lake question might be better.
Let's do lake then. I guess now do I need to do a roll for this, or am I just asking it?
You're just asking the question.
Okay. Well then, creature, why was I abandoned at the bottom of a lake for almost 20 years?
The stones whir around its head as its eye sort of mechanically, the aperture opens, closes rapidly several times, and it looks at you. You were thrown free by an explosion in a disaster. How you ended up at the bottom of the lake is not a matter of abandonment, but a matter of circumstance. Why you are still active, however, I do not know. However, that was not your question. Your question was why. And the why is that after what appears to be a large-scale arcane explosion, you were thrown into the lake.
Well,
That's that, I guess.
I guess
We
that
have
answers.
something.
I guess that answers that question. I'm happy to have learned something about why, but I'm unhappy that it did know the answer to the question, and now I think we have to face the consequences of it.
Your consequence is that my toll will be exacted.
And
The
what is-
intellect of one of your party members should suffice.
Oh no.
Ooh,
What?
So mechanically how this is going to work is for any question that it does know the answer to, or if you just offer it up freely, it will drain 1 point of intelligence from a given party member, or 2 points of any other attribute of 2 party members. So 1 point each of a different attribute other than from 2 party members.
and do we choose who it comes from?
You can choose who it comes from. Someone has to volunteer to make the payment.
I can make that
Dang.
payment since I was the one that asked the question.
Okay. So are you offering to just pay the toll?
And how much did you say the toll was?
The toll would be mechanically -1 to your intelligence.
Yeah, I'll pay the toll.
Damn.
All right.
X's every time.
So the Sphinx kind of meanders down the stairs, touches its
Shit.
forehead to yours, and you feel kind of the sapping of this energy leaving you. The Sphinx then looks over its shoulder and says, "Behind the observatory, you will find a dock. I have already called the ferryman. You will find him there. I appreciate your time and your passage. And go ahead and give me a perception check. Someone in the party."
You can do that.
Okay, so you notice that as soon as it has touched Stein's head, another one of those floating orbs has appeared, orbiting its general head area. But it appears non-hostile. It climbs back up to the top of the observatory, and as promised, around back of the observatory is a hooded figure on top of a floating platform that kind of has the same general red glow to it as the island. And the figure kind of looks in your direction, beckons you on board.
Before we get on board, you said there was an orb that it left behind?
No, there was an additional orb orbiting it.
Okay.
Got extra little floaty bits. I mean, how would I even get that? I want some of that.
Those orbs, what was the... Were we able to check the size of them? Because I'm curious if they might have something to do with this gauntlet.
They are relatively, grapefruit-sized.
So, definitely would not fit inside
big.
the knuckles.
A little
of the
bit too
gauntlet.
big.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd have to be a very big gauntlet.
Now, is there any hope of reclaiming the intelligence that we lost from this thing?
So, there are ways to do that either through mechanism or kind of the basic mechanical way to do it would be to have the remove curse spell cast upon you at a very high level.
Okay.
But until such point, there are ways to reverse it, but it's not easy, is the short answer to your question.
Okay. All right, well, I guess let's get on board the whatever this vessel is that we've just approached.
Okay, buddy, we'll find a cleric. It'll be okay.
So that moves us over to here, as we see the monastery load into view. So, you all are on this tiny dock with a platform and a hooded figure who has a very long pole kind of on the rudder of this platform, who is just kind of beckoned you aboard.
Okay. So we just to clarify, just make sure I'm on the same page here. So we just boarded, or did we? Have we already reached our destination?
You have just boarded.
Okay.
The ferryman's kind of waiting for everyone to get on before pushing off from the dock and beginning the almost glacial sort of drift back to the other side.
Okay.
The ferryman does not speak, nor does it give you any indication of kind of acknowledging your presence.
I'll get on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in?
All right.
Years of digging and exploring. How did they miss all this?
So you
Where
are
did they
then
find?
moved. Select. Oop. Dorito, why? The Dorito will not let me move it, but you have moved to the other side.
Okay.
And upon your arrival to the other side, you notice that a lot of this structure appears to be kind of metallic in nature. The various ziggurats, pyramids, and other temporary structures have grown up over time, but appear to be in relatively scrappy condition, to say the least. It's not easy to maintain something like this. There we go. Now we can move the Dorito. Upon your arrival, the ferryman just kind of lets you off. And there are several monks in hooded robes sort of awaiting your arrival.
Seems like we got the welcome party here.
Looks like it. Now, did our ferry leave, or are they just waiting here at the docks?
Ferryman is just waiting at the docks.
Okay, so at least I guess we have some way out of here whenever we do need to leave, if we do. That's good for now. So I guess we need to greet these monks, or whatever these this welcome party, as it was so eloquently put. See what they see if they even speak or anything like that.
Okay, so Stein, are you taking up the job of greeting the welcome party?
Probably would be best to have someone else reach out who would want to speak with these guys.
I will give guidance.
I assume Casimir's never seen exteriors because of where he's found the buildings, but anything at all looks similar to the stuff found underground?
No, it is absolutely not Delkir architecture, and that's probably frightening to you.
This is all new.
Like, most of these buildings, just for visual reference for you as players, is like some H.R. Geiger level shit.
Ugh, didn't learn anything about this in school, huh?
Not in school, not in any of the digs, no.
I don't recognize anything either.
As you all stand kind of bewildered, one of the monks breaks away from the group sort of milling about. The pyramid closest to you, kind of over here on the right. I'll just ping it on the map. Breaks away and kind of meanders towards you. And in sort of a raspy voice, says, "Welcome, welcome, new brothers and sisters for the cause. How may we assist you today? You are, of course, free to explore our monastery before making your decision. But we do ask what your purpose is in finding us."
I was about to ask you the same thing. How do you know we're coming?
We do not know of those who come, but people do arrive every few months or so. Small parties, mostly. Much like yours, most seeking refuge at our grand and illustrious monastery. And we can always use more hands for maintenance.
Are those people who sought refuge the same in the hooded robes?
Why, yes. Most of them do become brothers and sisters. Only a few of us are able to ascend to enlightenment, and some become our immured brothers, while others do receive the blessings to ascend.
So, have you remember a lot of the people that come by here? Very often we're looking for someone. Gabriel.
The name does not ring a bell to me, but perhaps the Grand Master would be aware of an individual by that name.
Can we speak to this Grand Master?
Why, yes, of course. I can take you to see the Grand Master at present, should you desire.
Get a good look at these people.
Give me a perception check, because most of them have their hoods pulled pretty low.
Yeah. And if you don't know them by name, they're an artificer. They developed, they had helped create Warforged of similar design as our friend here.
I do seem to remember the Grand Master mentioning that there was an artificer before this was claimed for our noble and holy order. You know how things are after the war. People do tend to frown upon that sort of artifice, and the Grandmaster has mentioned perhaps chasing someone of that description away from this place and making it a home for us.
Chasing away? And speak for yourself, first things first.
Well, in so much as I can.
But you say he was pushed out of here? Was there someone here before you guys?
That would be the Grandmaster's business, not mine.
Now, these people that you chase out, what normally happens to them? Where did they go?
It's not people in general that we chase out. It's just the one.
Oh.
Just the artificer that was driven away by the Grandmaster.
It's very inconvenient for us, because I think we're looking for him.
Well, you are more than welcome to explore. It has been some time since the Grandmaster has taken this place for us.
If we can poke around a little, I might be able to give some repairs. Despite your opinions on the artificer knowledge base, I'll ignore that.
Well, there is certainly artifice that must needs be repaired to keep our humble boat afloat. But you are more than welcome to look. Just please do not interfere with anything at present.
So, so this seems strange that the only person they've ever run out was an artificer. So, is there any way I could do a bit of a survey of the area before we go inside or wherever we're heading to see if maybe there is a memory that gets jogged loose from these surroundings that we see?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Looking around the surface of this area is kind of still jarring, mostly due to its incredibly alien nature. The way that the buildings are constructed doesn't seem familiar. It is kind of, in some places, hard to look at, but most of your kind of like early scrambled up memories are of interiors as opposed to exterior places.
Okay.
Can I do an insight check on these guys? Clearly they have awful taste. But I don't like their vibe.
Yeah, what are you trying to determine?
Whether they have like any like are they telling a half truth or are they hiding something? You know? Like are they upfront, I guess.
Got it. Yeah, give me an insight. Read that vibe.
I'm checking their vibes. Oh, no. Damn it.
Everything's Daijobu here.
God.
It checks out.
Man, D&D's great.
Just some weird monks.
These guys are weird, but I mean, you know, it seems okay. We can look around.
Might be able to find something left of a workshop.
We scratch their back, they scratch ours. You know, we might get a lead. At the very least, right? Okay.
So then,
No promises about any kind of cause, but if we can look around, I'm happy to help.
where would you guys like to start exploring first? If you come to a decision, you can actually like click and hold on the map in Roll20 to ping individual buildings. If you want to sort of check things out, then I can kind of give you a general vibe or description of an interior.
We could check that little ziggurat-looking thing that's right up and to the right of us.
What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, we can check that out. Yeah, that
You
one.
know one? You want this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right.
Methodical. Don't miss anything.
Mm.
Okay. So, checking these first areas in front of you, it kind of seems to be converted storage areas that have kind of been turned into barracks or a rectory of some kind. Go ahead and somebody give me an investigation check.
That
Sure.
I can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I can do.
Trust me. Damn it.
Oh,
Not the worst.
a whopping 9.
Could be worse.
Okay, so
Oh, I'm great today.
between the two of you, you can't really find a whole lot in this area. It seems like it's mostly just scraggly gardens set between the buildings growing, what little can be grown at this altitude. Typical kind of monastic vegetable garden stuff going on here. But the concerning thing that you notice is none of these monks have their hoods down. You have yet to see a monk not wearing a hood.
They just hate the sunlight? I mean, we're underground, but...
Oh, you're open air. Like, it's open air above you. You're on a floating island above a valley on the other side of this mountain range.
Understood. My apologies.
They
No worries.
obviously there's something of course fishy going on here. I don't like how it seems like maybe those who were originally seeking refuge somehow just became in service of these guys, and
Getting that vibe.
yeah, and it also seems like since we can't see their faces, that there is definitely something strange going on here. Very
Fish.
very disconcerting for sure.
Well, I could make someone talk.
The structures aren't Delk here, but some of the ways this place is run reminds me a bit of the deeper chapels.
Can I, look around the gardens itself? Or I guess we already did that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can kind of move further up into the grounds at this point, but this sort of bottom area with the pyramids kind of here, oh my God. Just this whole first sort of level all appears to be kind of gardens and rectories and storage in the various
Okay.
pyramids.
There seems to be gardens and weird monk stuff, you know?
Are there any boxes, or can we check to see if there's anything like boxes or something like that we could maybe rifle through, pick up, move, see if
Give
there's
me
maybe
a
anything
perception
hidden?
check.
What was that?
Give me a perception check if Stein is kind of looking around for boxes and things.
Lord help us.
Nice.
You'll love to see it. Nat 20. Okay.
Yes!
Stein, weirded out by this whole situation, does kind of pick up on some nonsense. So you sort of break off a little bit from the group and inspect some of these boxes and crates in the storage facilities. You find a number of them just contain, miscellaneous clothes and etc. There's graffiti scratched into the walls in languages. What languages do you speak again?
I believe just let me double check really quick just to make sure.
Common and deep speech.
Yeah, deep speech.
Okay,
That was
yeah.
it. Mhm.
So in languages that you don't quite understand, there is some graffiti written on walls in dark corners. And as you're rifling through these crates, you catch sight of what looks like a flock of bats, maybe? That's sort of swarming and fluttering over in... Let me make sure that I'm attributing this to the right area. Over in this general zone, which you may have to zoom out to see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just off screen there for you on stream. Kind of these, two pyramids off to the side.
Okay, and you said they were swarming over there?
They swarm up from underneath the rock and have kind of nested in that general area.
Okay. Would I... Okay, so you said I split off from the party a little bit, right? So I'm actually out here by myself.
A little bit. You're more than welcome to kind of move free from everybody else. At this juncture, my kind of assumption was that you were all kind of poking around in different areas.
Okay.
And given that your perception check was really high, you kind of were not just scoping the gardens.
Okay. Now, since these are an animal, I guess, that is recognizable and not weird and alien like some of the other stuff here, would I be able to do a nature check to investigate those further?
You can absolutely do a nature check. You can even walk up into that area and kind of do a nature.
Okay, I guess I'll do that
If you
then.
would like.
I'll head over there and take a gander at these bats and see if there's something else weird about them or if they're just being bats.
All right. So as you kind of approach that building and you peek sort of into the door as the kind of tops of those pyramids are semi-open, the area inside looks like a weird combination of a tanner's shop, an alchemist's lab, and a butcher shop. Knives and other implements lie scattered about, razor sharp and streaked with blood and gore. Bottles and canisters of preserving chemicals are heaped up on tables and shelves, many of them leaking or spilled. Barrels identifiable by their shape, smell as powerful tanning acids stand open against the walls. A limp, leather-clad figure is curled against the wall, beneath a set of hanging chains. Another figure lies strapped to a table, showing no signs of injury, but surrounded by a group of monks that appear to be preparing for something. Hanging on the walls around the table are a number of grotesque leather masks, but you don't see any bats.
Okay. A lot more going on than I thought. I would like to probably bring the rest of the group over here.
Okay.
However, I have a feeling that I've probably been noticed. I don't know if I have been noticed yet by anybody in here.
You have not been noticed yet.
Well,
Back away slowly.
I guess I would probably pull out my greatsword and back away and try to get out to see if I can maybe go get everyone else to come back here, because I don't know if really going in here alone is the smartest choice, given how many there are in here.
So give me a stealth check, because these monks seem fairly absorbed. But go ahead and give me that stealth at disadvantage. So roll and keep the lowest.
Oh, okay. And for disadvantage, you roll twice, right?
You roll twice and you keep the lower of the two scores.
Okay. Looks like a 4, I guess.
Okay, so you kind of skitter out of there as fast as you can, and you are not sure if you've been noticed, because you are much more focused on getting back to your friends. A quick look over your shoulder reveals that no one has chased you.
I don't know if that's more disconcerting than being chased, actually. Okay, so I guess I head out of there, and I'll rendezvous with everyone else, and of course inform them of what I've seen. There's some crazy stuff going down. Obviously, nothing's as it seems here, and we probably should head back over there as a group and try to figure out what's happening together.
That's some Hellraiser shit right there. Not great.
Yeah, I don't. No,
I mean, I'm ready to throw down.
we can throw down.
We can.
I mean, this might be their thing, though. You know what I mean?
Wait, how many people were in there?
I don't.
That is from
It's-
the old
It was a lot. It was at least from what I saw in my quick glimpse, it was about a dozen.
Look, as someone who comes
that's a fair
from a
amount.
family with many questionable backgrounds myself, sometimes they're much more upfront about it than you realize. Yuan-ti, you know, we do some dark magics, but don't worry, it's a very distant relation here. But I don't know, maybe they won't kill us if we see it. But It's probably not good.
I'm gonna keep my sword out and close by just in case, because I didn't like what I saw. So
Yeah, I'm definitely suited up. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like that.
like this one.
yeah, no amount of blankets can cover up that memory.
Okay, so you all agree, so you do that? You're heading back?
Yeah.
I could charm them. I could charm one of them to see if they can tell us anything more. And how many were there exactly?
I didn't get an exact number, but it looked about a dozen, maybe a little less.
I could disguise myself as one of them. Pretend to be a monk. They're all in robes anyway, right?
Yeah, they were all in robes except for
I'm not very charming, though. I could disguise someone else.
we
I have
could,
a spell.
if we wanted to utilize a, because I think we had an item that would allow me to be a bit more stealthy. We could Scooby-Doo style sneak in there and just try to take a look without getting into.
That too. I have an invincibility spell, which would equal out for you. And then I have disguise self, which would distort the appearance of one person, basically.
Well, I am definitely a
Clothing.
little bit worried about encountering any of them because it doesn't seem like they like artificers, based off of their only other experience with one.
True.
And by that,
don't
I'm assuming they don't
feel
like
very well.
Warforged either.
True. Well, we can stay out in the wings. If anyone else is a little bit more silver-tongued, it might be better. We could just go in guns blazing and listen in. Like, wait for the signal, you know what I mean?
We could have Elysia and Casimir head in there and see if they can figure out something.
I could disguise one of you.
Well, we should probably make sure they're okay with that first.
Well, yes, of course.
I can
Just
say I'm
option.
not unfamiliar with what you described with the writings of the Dalekir cults, but I don't know how well I'd blend in with them.
You've got a little flair for the creepy. Not quite like them, though. You've got a little charm to you, you know? Endearing. These guys, not so much.
All right,
I mean-
Elysia, what's your take on it?
We can give it a go. I don't know what I would say to them though, because if they're in there chanting and like just something.
All right. Well,
You could always attack them.
we can. Yeah, I am okay. If we are going to attack, I'd say we should
You
probably
might
get the
get
jump.
kicked out.
If we attack them, does then everybody else in the compound come to us?
Probably.
Because
I don't know if we'll get anyone to talk to us then. We
Well,
need
it
to gather
depends.
info.
Depends on what type of communications they have. I don't know if they have a way to communicate outside of word of mouth here.
Let's see how long we could go without notice then.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone wants this amulet, they can have it. For any skill checks. Which was so kindly dedicated to me. But we can swap.
I think I'm okay.
I'm not very charming. I know I'm charming, but you know, I could be a little abrasive.
Yeah, I'm not the most charismatic either, so I suppose
I have a 0, so.
mine's in the negative.
I'll
Most-
take
You'll
all
love
the
to see it.
medieval in there, and we'll see how things go.
You could take your amulet back then.
Actually, wait, does it work when it's on myself?
I don't know.
Don't think it does for talisman level.
Then I will keep the
No,
talisman.
I have to. It has to be
Yeah,
on somebody else.
Has to be on
Interesting.
someone else to work.
Okay, I will keep it then.
Okay, so Casimir, you're going in.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Elysia, are you going with him?
Yeah, safety in numbers. Let's go as a group.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out by the door.
Me too.
Just
Okay.
squat up by the door.
I love the idea
My
of two
plan.
heavily armored things hanging out at the door, peeking around the corner.
Of course.
We're the ones who are the most heavy armored, and we are peeking around a corner.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Okay, so for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna move you guys over to a map. We're just gonna assume that the stairs there are a door as we move you into the general vicinity of our next locale. So, this is kind of the small longhouse of a room. Casimir and Alicia, you have entered, and before you, you see the similar sight to what Stein described. There's about 6 monks crowded around this table that has a person laying on it. Said person is stripped down to their underclothes and does not necessarily appear to be dead yet, but definitely not in a good way. And a bunch of weird leather masks hanging from the walls, along with various sharp, pointy implements and other nasty things. In the center of the room is a great big vat of some sort of acid.
Good. Let's see how
Does it
close
look-
we can get without notice. Get a better look at things.
Alright, give me those stealth checks.
Oh boy.
Give me dims.
Oh god.
Oh, well, that was fancy.
Okay,
Stained
so,
glass.
so Casimir, you are kind of somewhat used to sneaking up on cult shit. Alicia, you are much more comfortable on an airship than you are probably on land, and you do sort of, as you're leaning around a corner, knock one of these glasses off of, a table. And many of the glasses are not exactly stored properly. It's a little bit slapdash all around. So you do kick a beaker that then rolls across the floor. And I'm going to need you guys to roll for initiative as the monks turn on you.
Oops.
Goddamn monks.
I think you're gonna have to turn token control over to us.
Oh, I will have to turn token control over to you guys. I thought I just had them set as default, controlled by you guys.
We were so
But
close.
I guess not.
We probably should have just blasted the bagpipe.
Clearly, that's always the best option.
Okay, so let's get those initiative rolls. Then I need to
Rolls
open
tonight. Damn.
up my...
Like I said, I blame Glass. He's like, that's the only 20 we'll see forever. I'm like,
That's true. Everyone blame Glass.
Everyone blame Glass.
It's the best course of action because he claimed to be optimal one time and it's not true. So like it's just such a
True.
it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I
Give
can't
my
believe it.
blessing.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so these monks all turn around, and the leader sort of just solemnly points in your direction without saying anything, and the rest of them spring into action. So, to start our encounter, monks will go first, followed by Casimir. So, Monk 1 moves himself up here, Monk 2 flanks and moves over here. The rest of them kind of just move up to begin mobbing you. And the leader still stands at the back. They are all wielding various butchering instruments, and a couple of them have like hooked pole arms or catch poles. So, Casimir, what are you doing? First round of combat.
Well, still don't have token control, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure you can stay still for a minute.
It should
Yeah.
be controlled by all players. Did I put them on the
clicked
map
and
layer?
it's
I think I
just-
put them on the map layer. I absolutely put them on the
Yeah,
map
I
layer.
can't move anything either.
It's okay. We'll get it.
Professional DM.
Absolutely professional stream. Okay, they should be on the token layer now. You should be able to move them.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, we wiggling.
We noodling.
Vince the jiggling, y'all.
Okay, we're caught. Let's try to deal with this fast. So we're gonna hit Form of Dread. I don't know if I could share that too. But
If you share it to Discord, I can throw it. You should be able to put that in game log, maybe, or just read out what that does for the good people at home.
Okay, so Form of Dread. You manifest an aspect of your patron's dreadful power. As a bonus action, you transform for 1 minute. You gain the following benefits while transformed. You gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your warlock level. Once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can force it to make a wisdom save, and if the saving throw fails, the target is frightened until the end of your next turn. You are immune to the frightened condition.
Okay.
After that, it just details how many times I can transform. But
Got it. So what does this dreadful form look like?
in this state, Casimir's his skin from about the. This is a little difficult to describe. Do you remember the face tattoos on Ultimecia? How they just kind of follow the skull line?
Mm-hmm. So following the jawline?
Yeah. From about that point down, all tissue becomes translucent and you can see his bones.
Okay.
On top of that, a pair of phantom limbs hover up behind his shoulders, one appearing semi-mechanical, the other more beastly and carrying a staff.
All right. So, what are you doing with your transformation? And do I have to make rolls of any kind for these guys to be, scared of you?
Does sound really... Oh, that is single. Yeah, we're gonna hit them with... What's that? 20-foot sphere. I'm gonna add this to the log first, and then get the area on the map.
All right. Hunger of Hadar, pretty solid.
I'm gonna draw that 20-foot circle.
Okay.
It's about 10, 15, 20. Right in there.
Okay. What save do those guys need to roll?
That would be a dexterity at 15.
Okay. First guy makes it, he jumps clear. Second guy does not make it. Does not make it at all. So really just absolutely beefs it.
Nobody's gonna want to touch that thing, because that is a sphere of just cold darkness that soft whispers are coming out of, as well as other strange noises up to an additional 30 feet out. So that's the whole room.
Okay, so the whole room is now spooky.
Mhm.
And is it half damage if they save?
Let's see. Where is it? No, it looks like
Full of void?
yeah, it looks like it's full of void. And then
Okay.
anything, I should put that somewhere else, because it lingers, and anything that touches it or ends their turn in there takes fresh acid damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
God.
So that's a little weird. So first time around, it's cold damage from the void opening up, and then after that, acidic tentacles will go and just rub up on them. That does acid damage.
All right. Tentacle nonsense already happening in the first combat. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off strong. Or
Anything
wet.
else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Stein, it is your turn. What you doing?
Okay. So I do have a question, I guess, in regards to movement. Because we do have a one of the hooded figures is over here. It's the I don't know how you ping. I already forgot how to do that.
You just hold down the mouse button. So
This
just
guy
like
over
click
here.
and hold. That guy.
So how is movement calculated? What do I need to do for that?
It is 5 feet per square. First diagonal is also 5 feet. Other diagonals after that are 10. So just count yourself, and you can be pretty much in any of those 3 squares that are that staircase. We're counting that as the door.
Oh, okay. So
Just
basically,
for the sake of this map.
it would start like right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it'd be, I guess, 6 squares, which you said it was, what, 5 feet per square?
5 feet per square. Yep. So
And
you can
I
move
think
up to 30.
Yeah, I think I have, what, 30 feet that I can move? Okay.
Yeah.
So can I just move that, or do I need to roll for that?
You can just move that. That is
Okay.
just your movement speed.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll approach this guy over here.
Okay.
And not gonna do anything fancy with this because I don't think we need to. Because they seem, you said one of them was already taken out by Casimir's spell, correct?
He's definitely looking good. He wasn't completely taken out.
Okay, so he's not taken out completely. I guess I'll just roll a. I'll just swing at them with standard with my greatsword of life stealing, and we'll do that. So we need to roll a whatchamacallit first before the.
Yep. Roll to hit.
All right. 25.
Yeah, you absolutely just hit this man.
All right.
So go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. And I guess due to what is it, Savage Strikes or whatever it's called, I think I rolled twice on this.
So Savage Attacker, or
Savage
you technically
Attacker.
do get 2 swings.
Okay.
Just because you're a level 6 fighter.
Okay,
So
so
you
we'll
get
roll
to
for.
swing your weapon twice.
Okay, so we just roll for damage twice.
Or no, you roll to hit twice because it's 2 separate swings.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to roll hit again.
You can either do it before or after your damage. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll roll that. Okay.
I forgot this weapon. You absolutely obliterate this man.
Nice.
Boosh.
He's just like, you cleave through him like paper.
Okay.
Because absolute unit. That is like some major overkill on your part.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Now, as far as Savage Attacker will only apply if I'm attacking the same target again, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just
And
making
you are
sure.
out of movement, so there's no one
Right.
else in range for you.
Okay. So unless I was to do something like Second Wind, that would be it for this turn, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for me.
Alright, sweet deal. Which then brings us to Alicia.
All right. Well, since he's obliterated the one I was looking at, I guess I'll look on the other side. Which of the two did is looking
This is-
a solid 8 out of 10?
Oh, this guy is all 8 out of 10. This other guy, not okay in the slightest.
Not okay in the slightest. Okay. All right. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost at the guy who's not looking okay in the slightest.
Okay. Give me a roll. Yeah, that's absolutely gonna hit.
Hooray!
These are monks in cloth robes. they are not hard to hit. Okay, you basically, he already was kind of cold and wet from the acid. He is now more or less frozen to the floor and dead.
Nice.
Hot dog.
Nice.
Hooray!
It's actually quite convenient for you that you started on the other side of this room, because these guys are having a hard time getting to you.
Yes.
Okay, so Ashisa, your turn.
Okay, first, I want to close the door behind us.
Okay.
Then, I'm gonna run. And which ones are dead? Can you please remind me?
I will just remove the ones that are dead from the map,
That would be great, thank you. Great.
as they have been Yeeto-deletoed out of here.
I am going to very quickly stand in front of my squishy lads. And I am
Alright.
going to attack this one
Okay.
with my Booming Blade,
All right,
which is a cantrip.
sounds good.
So that would be you brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target suffers the weapon attacks normal effects, and then becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of the next turn. Okay, so I will
So you have
attack.
to roll to hit. Yeah,
Right, sorry about that.
all good. We are learning. We are casual. It is first combat of the campaign. We're all good.
So I have a pistol and I have a shield. Would I be able to?
You could make an improvised weapon attack to like pistol it, effectively.
Would that be the same hit or would that be an unarmed strike?
It would be technically an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Okay, so that's absolutely gonna hit. So give me that unarmed strike damage, which I think is a D4. Because you're just clubbing a dude.
Well, unarmed strike is 0 for me because I have no strength. But I do have booming blade.
You do have booming blade, so sheathed in booming energy, and if he moves, he's taking hits.
It does 2 damage.
Okay,
But I have 2 attacks. So
beautiful.
I am going to. Now he's stuck, so he can't move. Or he takes damage.
Wait, booming blade is an action, correct?
So that would be
So that's your
both
full
my
attack.
attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, green flame blade, booming blade are both weird like that because it's effectively like trading your attack action for an additional effect.
Got it. Okay.
But you are now in front of this dude.
Yes, which is what I wanted.
Yes. Okay, which brings us to our 2 monks in the back over here. So these guys appear to be the ones in charge. And this first one is going to go ahead and do a point at Casimir. Is going to... Oh no, he's got to be closer for that. So yeah, point towards Casimir and is going to cast Spiritual Weapon. So, in this circle is now a big old cleaver. That is going to then make a bonus action attack against Casimir. And then the monk himself is going to move up on Stein. So let me roll 2. Okay, so I've got to roll a thing on my side. And double check the encounter because Casimir's AC is 14, so he is going to hit you with that. And you are going to take 7 points of damage as this spiritual cleaver sort of whips out towards you. And then since that was his bonus action, Stein is going to attempt to multi-attack you with a pike. He's going to miss his first attack. He's going to miss his second attack as his pike bounces off your armor.
Big whiff.
Big whiffs in Amish for this man. And this other one is going to just move up over here. And that is their turn, which brings us back to the other monks. So, this guy, starting his turn in the bullshit, what does he need to roll, Sib, or does he just take damage?
It's if they end their turn in it, so if he's going to move out of it, but it is difficult terrain.
Got it. Okay.
Now the circle guy, I think he's affixed to the ground now, right? From
No, that was the one that got killed.
Okay. All right. Cool.
This
No,
guy's
he's
just
talking
hanging.
about Pops' spell.
Mm-hmm.
Booming Blade.
Oh, Booming Blade, right.
Yeah, I
If
think
he
that
moves,
locked
he
that
takes
locked him in
damage.
place, right?
It doesn't lock him in place. If he moves, he takes damage.
Okay.
He takes damage if he moves,
Got
so
it.
he's
Yeah.
there.
And he
Unless
takes
he
damage
wants.
if it doesn't move.
Exactly. So you've really put this man in quite the dilemma.
That's the idea.
So he's just going to poke you because he is a fanatical cultist. He is going to whiff it big time because he rolled a 3.
I won't do it.
This is the
so
whip
that's
squad.
so that's his turn.
Okay.
These other boys are going to move themselves around the weird whispery portal, and are going to move past. I think in moving past you, you can take an attack of opportunity by them.
Who,
So
me?
Nick, if you want to make a weapon attack, yeah,
Do I just roll for hit on that one?
you just roll the hit.
All right.
You know, the guy who stayed in the orb takes 10 acid damage.
The guy that stayed in the orb is dead.
Alright. Nice.
Ugh.
Melts in the orb. Good.
That was an 11 on the hit for the.
11 is actually going to miss, so he's going to move and attack Alicia. Let me delete this other man from the order. Okay, so we're gonna attempt to do better. Okay, we rolled a 4 that time. Also big whiffs in Amish with these pole arms. Pole arms historically not great inside of buildings. So that's them, which brings us to Casimir.
Well, I think I'm going to do... Wait, who was the one who got the weapon up there?
Spiritual weapon is this guy.
Okay, he is in range. I'm going to do the thing I probably should do. I'm going to start blasting.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay,
Oh, wait.
blast him.
Hold on, that went straight to damage roll. Why did it do that? Let's try that again. Okay. And
Lord.
fun thing about Undead Warlock, they can convert damage into necrotic, and they get a second damage roll when they do necrotic.
All right, give me, because you're also a lock, meaning that at this level you do get 2 separate beams with your blast.
Ah. Do that. And also
That will also hit.
And then the additional 1d10 from it being necrotic.
Big oofs. Okay, so you do a total of 25 damage.
And that was on the first one. Right, wait, did the second beam hit?
Yeah, second beam did hit. Do the beams do 2d10 each, or do they do 1d10 each?
The first one does 2d10 because it's necrotic, and it's the
Right.
first incident of necrotic damage.
Okay. So yeah, you've done big good damage to him, and then your next one is absolutely just enough to melt him. So what does it look like when your necrotic damage takes one of these guys out?
I want to say, like the guy who grabbed the wrong chalice in Last Crusade.
He just rapidly ages, then turns into a skeleton.
Yes.
Okay. So you notice
Turns
his
him into some
hands and
jerky.
stuff wither, and as he falls to the ground, writhing in pain, you note that already he did not have a face to begin with. The hood kind of falls off as he is writhing, and his face was already just muscle stretched over a skull before your damage took him.
Huh.
And his
There's
spiritual weapon
one more
also
thing I gotta
dissipates.
check.
Mhm.
Making sure it's not a later feature, because there was one thing where I might heal relative to the amount of necrotic damage I do. No, that's later. Okay.
All right. So then next we have Stein.
Okay. So naturally we have this one monk, I guess, who's back here with our what did we refer to them as a minute ago? Our squishy boys, or something.
yes.
I don't know
Squishy
what.
babies.
Somebody said something.
Squish
and I was
lads.
regardless, now I do have a question for the monk that is right here. If I were to make a move here to move in to attack the one in the back, when that one passes, I I do get a swing at him, right? Like if he were to try to move past me.
So he would get a swing on you if you move out of like being directly engaged with him at this moment.
Okay.
One thing that is probably useful for you is since you're a fighter and you get 2 attacks, right? Those 2 swings, those don't have to be on the same person.
Okay. So
you can swing at the guy in front of you, and if you kill him, you can then take a 5-foot step behind you and swing.
okay, I didn't know if that was a thing you could do. I didn't know if the movement could occur after that. So I guess I'll so the one directly in front of me here, I'll take a swing at him.
All right.
I'll do just need a roll hit for that. Ugh.
So 9 is not going to hit him.
Okay. So I'd have to now, since I have Savage Attacker, I could try re-rolling for that hit, right?
Read Savage Attacker for me real quick.
Yeah. Hang on.
Or I can actually tab over to it because you got some feats.
Yeah. Oh, it is under feats, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah. Once per turn, when you roll damage, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice.
Okay, so that's not.
That's not to hit. That's just damage.
Okay. So basically, we completely whiffed that, which is.
Yeah, you whiffed that shot. He blocked it with his polearm.
Okay. Can I use my second wind to get another shot at that?
You actually just have a second attack. Locked and
Oh.
loaded, you're a fighter. So you get that second swing. That was just your first.
Okay, so that counts for the hit as well. I just wanted to make sure. So,
Mhm.
all right, so I need to re-roll hit and then roll damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
11, also not gonna hit.
Oh,
You've been parried. Twice.
Man.
If you want, at this point, you could use your action surge to give yourself 2 more swings.
Well,
But
I might do that
also-
because I'm not happy with these two being back here so close to us.
Okay.
So I guess I need to pick off my second wind there, and
It's action surge, not second wind.
Oh,
Second
right.
wind is health restore.
okay.
So yeah.
And this
Check off
can
your
only
action
use
surge.
one time per short rest, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now we just try rolling the hit again, like we've reset the turn.
Yep. So
Alright.
you've got your 2 weapon attacks that you can make.
Okay. So we're gonna try to hit the one in front of us again.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, that actually does hit.
Oh, thank God.
yeah.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
Just because of the nature of your weapon, you absolutely obliterate this guy.
Okay.
You get frustrated, you get mad, and brute force and ignorance wins the day.
Okay,
So
so just-
he's dead. You've cleaved through his pole arm.
So we broke him in half, effectively.
Yes.
Cool. Great. Perfect. That's what we wanted the whole time. Now I can take a move action to go shift here to the left and
Mhm.
take an attack on him, correct?
Yep. Absolutely.
So we'll do that, and then I guess I'll roll the hit again.
Yep. Get you that good 5-foot step attack. That also hits.
All right.
I think it's impossible for you not to just kill these guys. I think it might be mathematically impossible for you not to kill basic monks. Okay, so also dead. So there's one last monk in this room brandishing a weird polearm staff thing that appears to be vibrating at its tip. And he's doubling down. But that brings us to Alicia.
Okay. He's across the room, so I guess. Does that count? That's what, 60, 80? Maybe? I can't tell. As the spell flies, how far is that?
As a spell flies, that's... God, where is the thing? So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. Yeah, there's the thing.
There's a
That's
ruler
like
tool that's pretty
35.
helpful for that.
Yeah, I can never remember how it works because I'm
Mm.
terrible.
I gotcha.
So, there's
Oh.
the ruler. So it's like 35 feet.
Oh, look, I figured it out.
I didn't even know there was a ruler. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right, I figured it out. All right. Okay, fantastic.
Learn and roll 20. Let's go.
All right, so great. I can Ray of Frost him from here. I don't have to move.
Okay.
And for chat's sake, since I forgot to tell them the first time, so Ray of Frost is a frigid beam of blue-white light, and it will streak towards a creature within range.
That's an ice bolt.
Yeah.
All right, give me that roll to hit. That will hit. Meets the beats. Let's go.
All right.
Well, damage is pretty hefty.
Hooray!
Okay, so you hit him pretty hard with your frostbolt. Doing anything else on your turn?
Can I do it again on a bonus action? Is that a work?
Nah.
No? Okay.
You only get one.
Then no, I'm good for him.
Okay. Ashisa, it is you.
I'm gonna shoot him.
All right, shoot him.
Shoot him.
Shoot with gun.
Shooting.
Bam.
That's absolutely gonna hit. Good lord.
Baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
that will also hit. Okay. Do you have any
Bam.
bonus actions or anything else that you can do?
Nothing that would be very helpful. So
Okay.
that'll be my turn.
All right. So with that being your turn, that brings us to our erstwhile monk, who is going to, if I can select
He's still
him to
doing
move.
okay?
He's not doing great, but he is quite upset with you specifically.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh, come at me.
So first
Wait.
he is going to roll.
He did have to move through the orb.
Does he take damage upon moving through the orb, or just if he ends his turn?
No, but it's difficult terrain, so how
It is difficult terrain.
Either he has to go around it, or going through it might stop him from reaching. Because that's double.
Yeah, going through it would stop him, so that's going to change his modality of nonsense that he must do. This is fine. Okay. So, because he can still technically hit with his polearm. Okay, he's gonna miss his first strike. His next strike absolutely is gonna hit you.
Yeah, good. Wait, what?
And he's going to take 3 psychic damage.
And he's gonna take 3 psychic damage?
Talisman.
Okay, talisman. He's not too happy about that. You're gonna take 10 damage as a beam shoots out of his polearm.
Ow. Well, it is
And he
what it
takes
is.
3 psychic damage. He's not looking great.
I was hoping he'd kill him because that'd be funny.
I also was
Great.
hoping that he would just die outright. But no, it is not. But Casimir, it is your turn.
Oh, we're just going to get him like the last one.
Just gonna do him like that.
Oh, wait.
Wait, so-
You know what? He's not in a position where he'd push him back, so that's fine. Where are you? That does not let you go very fast with that. So
That'll
there's
hit.
the 2 beams.
Yep. This man is a pile of dust before he even hits the ground. I just want you to know he's already dead.
Just utterly obliterated.
So did we just crater him? Is that what we're going with?
Absolutely cratered him. There is bone dust just peppered along the wall of this building.
So much for asking questions. But you know, they started it.
We've got survivors for now. Are they okay? I'm gonna go to the people that were skinned, stepping around the acid cube
Yeah.
area.
Okay, so are you starting with the person on the table?
Yeah, I'll look at the table guy.
Okay,
I'm gonna
give
go
me
along. Just
a
in
medicine check.
Oh boy.
That would be my field. And he's also going to poke the little bug to life.
All right.
I will let him do that. I will not get in the way.
All right. Give me that check.
I'm gonna give him guidance as well, if that's too late. I think it's too late.
All right. So medicine check plus guidance. Okay. This man is missing his face. That's fairly obvious at first blush. However, quick thinking on your part does reveal that one of the bloodier masks hanging around the room does appear to perhaps be a human face that was recently removed.
Okay, I'm gonna hope magic can do this.
All right.
Put that face on, and with the help of the bug, I'm gonna hit him with my cure wounds.
Okay.
There's that, and then the little bug does a 1d6 plus 2 on healing.
All right.
Good job, guy. Good job, little guy.
Rolling a 1 on the heels. So you notice, because this is not your first rodeo healing people with magically induced injuries, that this bloody mask is enchanted in some way, shape, or form with some kind of compulsion or control spell. And when you put it back on this individual's face and subsequently cast healing on them, the mask perfectly molds back to their face, repairing the tissue, and leaves them unconscious but stable and fully healed.
You
Oh,
okay,
that was
buddy?
a lot of trouble than I thought. She's good.
Ugh. No thanks. I know I
So-
shed skin, but it's not the same for you.
Yeah, guy is still strapped to the table, still unconscious, but does have a face now.
I'm
It
gonna
appears to be
untie
a
him if I
relatively
can.
unassuming human face. Yeah, you can unstrap him from the operating table.
Do that. He is unconscious.
All right, and the other two of you searching in the corner.
Yeah, I was checking to see if this dude was dead or not.
It's not a dude. It's
Okay.
a suit of leathery, kind of humanoid-shaped armor.
Oh my god, is it an Egger suit?
Kind of.
Oh my god.
Does anyone have identify?
What do I roll for that? Medicine?
Identify would be a spell.
Oh, identify. I don't think I
Okay.
got that one for this
No,
week.
I don't.
I do not.
Okay. So yeah, this appears to be a exosuit of some kind, armor. You're not quite sure what it is or what it does. But it is a suit of armor of some description. You're pretty sure you could wear this.
Does it look like it was human?
Give me a medicine check.
I was about to say, are we looking at human leather here?
That's why I called it an Egger suit. Okay. It's not a person. I think maybe it was a person, but now it's a suit. That was maybe a person. I don't know. I'm a little creeped out.
No, do not put me in the skin suit.
No, we're not putting anybody in the skin suit.
So, is anyone taking the skin suit? Are we planning on, taking it with us? Is anyone gonna put it on?
I mean, we can
Fun.
take it with
I
us.
want to put it on now.
I'm not putting it on.
I'd imagine
but-
I imagine it's heavy. I could carry it.
Wrap it up in the inflatable bed.
Yeah, we could
Could I
put it in
do
the
a-
bed
There
and
you
then
go.
strap it on my pack because I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I can carry it around.
Can I do a general arcana check on it?
You can do an Arcana check on it for sure.
I was thinking that. Like, do I want Arcana this? Maybe. I mean,
You guys are doing that.
Yeah,
Got hurt, and for how much?
Hmm?
Who got hurt and for how much? Because my hit only took a little bit out of the temp HP, so that's whatever.
Good.
But-
I did take 10 points, I believe. But I'm
Yeah.
okay. I've got a ton of
Oh.
temp HP I can give myself. I'm just fine.
Okay, so With
Six
your
back from the
Arcana,
bug.
6 HP from the tiny bee.
Yep.
Alicia, with your Arcana check, you're fairly certain this is a suit of armor. It appears to be leather, so it would be classed as medium armor. You do kind of, upon getting over your initial nausea and gazing inside of it, see a couple of like contact points where it looks like it likely inserts something into the body of the person who's wearing it. Mostly at like key joint areas for magical circuits.
Gross.
But it is, for all intents and purposes, an armor suit made out of skin.
Oh my god, it's an actual Egger suit. Oh god.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, I guess we're gonna pick up the suit, which I'll carry around until we have some usage for this.
Just so no one else takes it.
Yeah,
you know
because
what
it's
I mean?
pretty disturbing. As far as the guy on the table, do you guys want to try anything else with him, or would you like me to pick him up and we go confront the?
We can try to wake him up. I think if anything, we're gonna find out from this guy more than any of those other weirdos.
Okay.
But just, give him a
time to
little,
sleep it off.
a little shake. We can wake him up.
Can I blast the bagpipes?
We could blast the bagpipes.
That might attract people outside.
Oh, that's true.
I did close the door. Can I gently shake him?
Yep. He doesn't show any signs of like waking up. This dude is like out. Unconscious but stable.
Bam! Over the face.
You're slapping him?
Yeah, I mean, I can literally do 0 damage with an unarmed strike, so...
That's abuse of the
Even
rules, but fair. Your tiny slaps do nothing. So,
That.
kind of a little dazed, kind of a little bit looking around frantically at the rest of you. They do... Someone who is close to them, give me a dex save.
Oh,
Yeah,
Guess
go for
since
it,
I did it.
'cause
I'll move. So do I do a saving throw, right?
It's just Casimir.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so Casimir, you realize what is about to happen, and you know that this guy is about to scream. So you very quickly put your hands over his mouth, and kind of shush him, so that he does not scream bloody murder and alert everybody around. But his eyes are like bugging out. He's not looking happy. Are you going to let him talk? Right now, he's still kind of just muffled screaming into your hand.
I can take my hand away if you would promise to stop.
He kind of like calms down a little bit, heavy breathing, nods,
Good.
and falls silent.
Look, we're not here to hurt you. Quite the opposite. We're just trying to figure out what happened.
Thank the gods you arrived when you did. Someone promised legal sanctuary and made up a cult of skin flayers.
I knew it.
Definitely could have guessed that much. So, you, political, exile?
Sky pirate?
I
He
see.
kind of like looks really uneasy
That's okay.
at the dragon mark on Alicia's neck.
You a little afraid of something? Well, don't worry about me.
Oh, you know, authorities and all that.
My lips are sealed. Trust me.
Who
I
are
work
you?
in higher up things than the police generally.
Okay, that's terrifying. Who are you?
You don't need to know about that. What I need to know is who you are. I put my hand on the table next to him.
Let's just say my name is Jimathan, and we'll
Hey,
go with
Jimothy.
that.
All right.
Oh man.
So, why don't we get a little bit further in this conversation? I'm gonna cast a suggestion.
Okay.
I kind of want an insight if he is Jimathan.
Give me that insight for if he's Jimathan or not.
God. Ask the question.
Ask the real question. Is hello, Jimathan.
He might just be.
It's very possible that he's Jimathan. What is the save for your suggestion spell?
That's a great question. 11.
And what stat?
Wisdom.
Well, dear old Jimathan here has been around the block a few times. And does sort of look at you with a brief look of contempt.
Oh, come on. Don't you blame me? I'm trying to have a conversation here. Okay.
If you wish to engage in a negotiation, that's fine. But I've had enough magic slung my way in the past couple of days, and I don't need any more of it.
Look, we put your face back on. Okay, I'll be up
For
front.
that, I thank you.
We're here to look for somebody. I am here under, on the DL for House Kenneth. We're not looking for you. We're looking for someone else. I don't care about you. Unless you're Gabriel. Then great, we saved you. But I don't care. We're just trying to figure out what happened here. And look for our friend.
I don't know any Gabriel among the other monks or prisoners. You might check the enlightened ones.
What's up with these guys?
He may not have known him by name. We could ask if he saw someone who was claiming to be an artificer.
Are you just chiming in from the other corner?
I am. Yeah, I'm just talking from the other corner.
He looks over to you and says, Alright, never heard a Warforged speak that eloquently before, but, Yeah, no artificers either. What exactly is it you're looking for? This place did apparently used to be a lab before
Exactly
the
why
monks
we're
took
here.
over.
This used to be his place, and then he went missing.
Well, the Grand Master loves to brag that he ran the scientist out of town.
We're trying to figure out what happened.
That's all I really know, is he was run out.
Now, this Grandmaster fellow, you got beef with him too? Or I guess you were jerky.
They did take his face.
Sorry. I
Gestures in the general direction of Casimir at your comment. Look, I've only been here for 3 weeks. I was held in a prison cell for 2, then brought out heavily drugged and sedated, brought before the Grand Master, who said I could stay here if I promised a year and a day of service. And you know kind of where the rest of that goes.
Anybody else happen to be in that prison?
Oh, several. Whole lots of people. If you show up and aren't immediately throwing yourself at the mercy of the Master, you get thrown in the prison.
Why didn't they do it to
That's
us?
up. They were oddly welcoming to us.
Well, they're always welcoming first, but give it a few days and you'll wake up in a cell. If they don't haul you before the Grand Master before that.
You know anything about that, jerky in the corner?
He kind of looks behind him where the rest of the masks are hanging, and immediately all color drains from his face, and he does just vomit on the ground.
I mean, that's reasonable.
That's pretty gross.
Pat him on the back. Oof. Yeah, valid.
Where do you think the masks come from, considering what you obviously just did?
Point Got
Wait,
a
none of
point
these
there.
people have faces?
I would presume not. It seems to be kind of a basic procedure for those who become monks.
Oh, God. Oh,
Mm.
why?
And you're not an initiate.
Well, I was, not anymore, but I'm not exactly sure that the ferryman will carry me out of here.
You can come with
He
us.
might.
It's okay.
He might carry me out of here.
Well,
Potentially.
if you
If I
hide,
make a run for it.
we'll make a signal or something, and I don't know. If I remember, I'll get you out of here.
I'm
Right.
not sure anybody's coming back here, at least.
Mm.
Well, at least not for another day or two.
Um,
They do move slowly. the
could
monks.
would it be possible to maybe barricade the door and I actually have an alarm spell we could set for him in case there was an intruder?
You could certainly try that, considering that this is only one of the leatherworks. I'm not sure how long it would take someone to notice. Do you have a knife or something? He looks around. I suppose I'm already pretty well armed. If you're able to do that for me, I'll wait here.
I mean, it's the best we can do. Unless someone else has an idea. I like the alarm idea.
Yeah, we could set an alarm, and we could also barricade it with some heavy items. I could easily move some boxes or barrels or something in the way.
As long as you close the door behind you, I can barricade it closed. There's enough in here to keep it that way.
Okay.
Do you have any food, perhaps? I'm not sure how long we'll have to be here.
I have a water skin and a day's worth of rations to give him.
Alright. He graciously accepts. Well, I'll attempt to make a break for it by nightfall if, I don't hear anything.
Sounds good. But I'm glad you got your face back. You look a lot better.
I appreciate that. I was always complimented for my good looks, and it is a prerequisite for sky piracy.
Mm.
Right. Well, I suppose we should gather up everything that we can in here. I don't know if you guys want to take another look around and see if there's anything of use.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Someone wants to give me an investigation check for one last pass through. Alright, 20 is pretty solid. You don't really find anything else of value. A lot of it is poorly stored and mismanaged embalming compounds and tanning supplies, clearly to make the masks. You're not really... You don't necessarily really want to take any of those, because they're either in vats that are too big or in glassware that is not properly labeled.
You know, I don't want to touch them. I'm good.
Is there any acid left?
I mean, there's a big barrel of acid. If you have glass containers with lids and such that you can seal, you are more than welcome to attempt to take some acid.
Every tool in existence, pretty much. Let's see. Would alchemist supplies or glass blowers tools have bottles?
Alchemist supplies would probably allow you to get like 2 vials of acid. So you can add 2 vials of strong acid to your inventory.
Great. Thank you. Take some acid.
Alright. So y'all set up the alarms and barricade Jimathan into the warehouse. Stay safe, Jimathan. Which brings us back out to the monastery grounds.
Keep the face on.
Which direction is that prison?
Oh, we should have probably
There-
asked him.
Yeah, probably.
Whoops.
If I had to guess, maybe that building across the way?
That's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
Alright. Are you all being conspicuous with your movement? Are you trying to like stealth your way over there? You just walk in? What are you doing?
I think I think we could just walk, because I don't think there was any... doesn't seem like they alerted anyone else, or else we would have seen reinforcements. So I think we are probably safe to move on the way we were before.
Meander.
Yeah, I think we're still good looking like tourists.
Okay. So you wander over to that area, and the building itself does appear to have one guard kind of stationed out front. It appears to be another one of those monks with the weird freaky halberds that shot beams. But that's the only person standing guard in front of the door.
There's only one.
Could
Yeah.
ask him about the building.
Yeah, we could ask him if this is the prison, because we don't even know, I guess, for sure if this is it.
I mean, I'd probably
We're
maybe we
given
start with.
permission to look around for
ask-
the old workshop.
Oh, yeah,
or
we should probably just
whatever's
ask.
left of that artificer.
I guess we would need to be careful calling it the prison as well, because that would indicate that we know that there is a prison here. We could ask, in order to stay neutral to them, we could ask exactly where their leader is located, which I would assume would be the building here in the middle, but there's no way to know for sure. So, yeah, we could ask him where that's located and what this building is that he's currently guarding. Which I will be happy to ask him if you guys want.
You are certainly welcome to.
Okay. And what will we need to... I don't know if we need to roll.
You just walk up to him and say what you want to say.
Okay. I were new here. We were told that we could seek audience with your leader. However, we're taking a short tour around, and we were wondering what this building is.
This is a hall of contemplation for our brothers and sisters who arrive at the monastery for study. Should you need to speak to the Grand Master, I will be happy to escort you to the his throne room.
Well,
Please follow me.
we do plan on going to see the Grand Master, but we were curious to see what this Hall of Contemplation looks like, since we've never seen an area quite like this before.
You, unless you have seen the Grand Master and agreed to enter into our brotherhood, I unfortunately am barred from allowing you entrance to the Hall of the Immured Ones. You are, of course, free to walk the grounds, and I will, should you like, escort you to the Master so that you may make your purpose known. Please, follow me. And he begins kind of walking towards the large ziggurat in the center of the compound.
Okay. Have we walked far yet, or are we still in that general area over there?
He's kind of walking and sort of very pointedly, like, trying to usher you in that direction in a polite fashion.
Okay, so he's out ahead of us. He's leading us right now. Or attempting to, anyway.
There's currently some distance between you and the party. So right now he is between you and the party, kind of, you know, holding his arms out wide to herd the group of you on forward and looking over his shoulder back at you. So he is in front of you.
Well, personally, and I guess I don't know if I can speak with the party candidly, because I don't think I'd be able to do that without him hearing. We know that obviously there's something terrible going on here, and I don't think that whatever the Grand Master has is going to be something good for us. And I'm also worried that if we stumbled upon something where Jimathan was, that was that bad, I wonder if maybe in this grand hall where he is, if there's going to be much larger numbers of these monks, possibly enough so to overwhelm us and get us thrown in this hall of contemplation. which I'm pretty sure is a prison.
Or torture.
Or that. Yeah. So I
The
vote
title gives it away.
unless unless we are there any other people around at the moment?
There's some other groups of monks kind of milling around the pyramid across the way. So at this one, and then there seems to be a decent amount of activity out in front of the central building. So
Okay.
from the hill up top, there's people kind of looking down on you, and then from this vantage point over here, there's sort of groups of monks tending to their duties of repairing and keeping things, you know.
So we're definitely in view, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I'll play nice.
Yeah, I think we might be stuck because I don't think we can take him out without anybody seeing us.
Could we just ask if we could look around more first?
We can.
I'm sorry. Is it all right if we look around a bit more first? Apologies for approaching a sacred hall of yours before knowing, but it was simply our curiosity.
Give me a persuasion check. He kind of like straightens himself up. No, I must insist. If you have seen the grounds up to this point, surely if you are interested in the architecture and sacred sites, then the Grand Cathedral in the Central Abbey will be what you would like to see. Most of all, it is the most impressive architectural feature of our humble home. Follow me, please, chop chop.
Did he just say chop chop to us?
He did.
I don't like him.
I don't like him either, but it doesn't seem like we have much of a choice. We might have to follow him or cause a scene.
I'd rather not cause a scene.
This guy probably could give us some info. I do like to look around first, but if anyone knows where this guy might be, I mean, it could be this, like, main guy.
Well, let's ask him if he knows who the artificer might be, or if he knows anything about him.
Do I got time to do mind link?
Is Mind Link a bonus action?
It's free for me to talk to anybody, but I have to take an action to let them talk back.
If you're following this guy, you probably have time for like a short conversation.
Okay, well, one way out, a quick one by one, to inform everybody without words that immured means someone held against their will. And to give me a look if they'd like to talk back.
Could you explain that again? I'm sorry.
He called it the Hall of Immurement. That would mean it's a prison. That immured is to be held against your will.
Right.
It's shackled or restrained.
Would have potential.
And for explanation, a class char racial feat is a kind of telepathy called mind link.
If anyone knows something, it would be this guy. And at the very least, we could stall.
I think we...
So I would say at this juncture, you're probably about like halfway up the path towards sort of the central area again. If you're just sort of following at the pace that this guy's going. I'll move the Dorito.
Might as well. I mean, if he's taking us there, we might as well learn what we can.
And he's already worked up about showing us.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess let's head to the. We'll follow him and we'll go into the main hall, I suppose.
Okay. Let me move us to the set piece that I have for the main hall. And I'll have to put down your various characters and whatnot into there. Okay, that's not the one. Also not the one. I've got too many maps. Okay. So let's move y'all here. So, as you are brought in, you may want to kind of zoom out. And I need to make sure that I'm on the objects and tokens layer before I place y'all down. And squish y'all into position.
Squimped.
Squinched. So you are brought in through a massive set of double doors, and there does appear to be some sort of like cart track that's no longer in use on the ground, leading sort of up this hallway.
And Monkman is ahead of us, I guess.
Monkman is ahead of you. I'm just about to put him on. I gotta position the peoples. Okay. So, and you have Monkman, John Q. Monkman, who is leading out in front through sort of this clockwork area. A massive pair of cathedral doors open into a long nave. Rows of balconies line the walls sort of off to each side of this walkway, with a couple dozen hooded monks seemingly come to watch the audience about to take place at the far end of the nave. And I will place those individuals now. So at the far end of the nave, up here on the dais, you have two orc bodyguards and a spiny creature in sort of a weird patchwork leather cloak who is looking down upon a monk who has been hauled forward before him. The orcs are both carrying kind of variations on the halberds that you've seen some of the other monks carrying around, but they appear to be much more deadly and dangerous, but you're not quite sure what type of weapon they might be. As you are walking in and walking down this path, and feel free to move yourselves up closer to the dais in this sense, the Grand Master, flanked by his two massive bodyguards, wears a patchwork leather robe and a gleaming crown, and carries a scepter set with an odd crystal with bumps and metal flanges. With its other hand, the devil taps the arm of the throne, showing off nails set with gleaming metallic shards. Welcome, welcome. We get few supplicants here of your obvious experience and skill. You shall do well in service here at the monastery, but will that service be with the strength of your bodies or the strength of your minds?
Can I do a quick investigation roll in this chamber?
Investigate would require you to physically move around. You'd be perception at this point.
May I do that?
Yes.
I see everything.
God, you see it all.
Okay, so your perception check reveals to you that this creature is non-humanoid. The two bodyguards on either side are armed to the teeth, and on several of these balconies, kind of lining the chamber, are many more monks, who appear to have come watch the audience take place. As you all were walking sort of up the walkway there, one of the orcs has just finished beheading the monk that now lays dead on the ground in front of the Grand Master, and the other is hauling its corpse off to the side and kind of dumping it into the pool of glittering blue nonsense behind you.
That's
Oh.
good.
I'm starting to think we should have
The
caused the
grand-
scene outside.
I'm starting to think, yeah.
The Grand Master
Where's my time turner?
Can I figure out what the Grandmaster is?
Can I
Yeah,
do an
I will-
Arcana check?
Let me copy image, because we do need just like good image of Grandmaster that I can like throw onto Roll20 really quick. Because I probably should have prepped that. Okay. So over here with characters welcome at the Grand. As we have spooky music. So I'm just gonna like throw his picture up off to the side just so that you know approximately what he looks like. Just scale him up for y'all's benefit.
Good lord.
Ugh.
Oh,
Very attractive.
Yes.
The fashion.
So that is your Grandmaster.
I gotta go.
Where's the bathroom?
And we gotta roll to figure out what that is. Past some kind of
Arcana?
Arcana would be what you would have to roll. Okay, both Casimir and Alicia are fairly certain that this is a bone devil.
Yee.
really into skin for a bone devil.
Well, you know, sometimes we want the things we can't have.
Very leathery drip.
Indeed. Upon closer investigation, and this would have been something that you noticed with your perception check, the cloak that he is wearing is made out of the leather face masks.
Right.
I was just about to ask that, and I'm really, really thrilled to hear that that is a confirm on that.
Yep, he's doing skin slave things.
Great.
Yeah. Vagrant, did you write
Fabulous.
this specifically for us? I'm just.
I do not reveal my writing secrets. So the devil, sitting on his throne like he's Jarl Balgruuf of Skyrim, is looking down on the four of you. And to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit to our illustrious cathedral?
Well, we were just kind of looking for the guy who used to live here. He's an artificer.
Yeah.
Or at least whatever's left of his workshop.
Well, you see that I chased that Gabriel fellow away, as this magnificent structure did better to serve our ends than his. He left on some doomed expedition to a lost city further to the north. I have seen his notes, and perhaps if you are to prove yourselves worthy to me, I may share them with you. But this would require a trade, a modest fee, perhaps some service.
What exactly do your fees normally entail?
Yeah, let me take a look at you. You there, the one in the armor. Not you. The other one in the spectacular construct of artifice, you.
Oh,
If
hi.
you agree to share with me your knowledge and serve for a year and a day. Then, well, we can use your services in exchange for the notes.
Am I going to be donating any of my pelt? Because it
No,
sheds a
not-
lot lower than I think you would prefer.
Not your pelt, merely your brain is what I require.
It's pretty precious cargo. I assume.
You assume?
I need to think about it. Okay,
Well,
can we
take it or
huddle?
leave it. No deal.
Let's,
And we
let's
can
definitely
think of something
huddle,
else.
please.
Yeah.
Time out. And I put my
Do not-
hand up in a T motion.
Do not take too long. I am rather impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I'm to understand him correctly, he wants to take our artificer away from us for a year and a day. And we have already seen what people
What
in
happens?
Yeah, we've
Kind of spoken for a little bit. You know what I mean? I have other services to do.
yeah, he claims that he just wants your brain, but after seeing what they do to some of the other people, especially this monk that just came before them, I don't believe him for a second. So
I mean, he may actually just want her brain. And literally
specifically.
Physically.
just want his
I
brain.
mean, if he takes it out for a year and puts it back, it's not gonna do much.
I don't think he's gonna give it back.
No, he's gonna get it
And remember how that Sphinx borrowed knowledge as well.
back. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit dumber because of it.
Yeah.
I rely a lot on my intellect, and I'm good at what I do. If I lose that, it's gonna be bad.
What are the odds we tell him no and we're just gonna go?
I have a feeling he's going to not let us leave, especially after stating that he wants our artificer's brain. So obviously we have something of value to him, and I believe he will probably try to detain us either way. The question is, what do we do otherwise than leave?
We punch.
Well, he's got 2 bodyguards, and there's like 1,000,000 monks in this room.
Now,
For the record, there's only about a dozen monks in the room, and they're on the
Okay.
balconies.
and it
does
does
it-
seem like those monks may not be as equipped to fight as some of the other ones that we've seen, as they came in maybe just seeking audience here, so they may not be as much of a threat. However, we do know that the 2 orc bodyguards are very well armored, and I don't know what this thing's capable of either.
It's yeah, it's stay out of range of its claws. Not good.
Could we trick it somehow?
Ow.
I don't know. I could promise to come back and just not
Hey,
come back.
I feel like if you say yes, we'll never see you again.
I don't think we will. Maybe the
I'd like to
orcs.
see you again.
Maybe the orcs are bagpipe enthusiasts.
It might be.
Oh, maybe could we
We push them all off the edge.
with
in
the
like
vacuum?
One big push.
Yeah. Or could we use the catapult? The
Pushy
hand?
hand. The secret. I have a catapult spell as well. But it only moves 10 things that are 10 pounds.
You know, I do wonder what would happen if you hit something with the gauntlet.
I move pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'd have to see if there was.
And
You'd also use it as a
sorry.
gun, effectively. We do know that it'll put a dent in a wall. You try to load something incorrect into its sockets.
It's true.
And what if those loading points were to hit something
We could certainly try.
or someone?
But
So who would like the honors?
Is that how you want to start? You want to throw the gauntlet at him?
Literally.
Oh, I thought one of
Are you literally about to throw down the gauntlet and start shit? Like, is that the direction that we're going in?
Oh, something in the back of my head doesn't like him being here. More than the reasons of a demon being here.
We could also decline his offer, but not tell him we're declining, and just ambush the 2 orcs and try to overpower them.
I could make an illusion of myself and give them that illusion, and we could run away. But then I would have to make 3 of myself, and they'd probably know what's up.
Yeah, and I think they'll probably stop us because we're pretty cornered here because we have to go down this track to get back, and there's really the only way out is through the door and into the acid. So I say we try to use the acid to our advantage. And we aren't we're a capable group. I think we can handle this creature and its minions. I don't think that the monks up top are going to be very much of a threat to us. So I think that this is where our fight will mostly take place.
Could make someone very small or very large. Any of us or any of them.
We could make the orc small and then put it in the thing's butt and then make the orc huge.
We could make him small, and then we could shoot him with the catapult.
Ooh.
I like
Figuring
it.
out what you're throwing down.
I like the idea. That would remove one of our obstacles.
If it pushes him back.
We
might
haven't
just
tested it with
damage him.
organic matter. I mean, it could only work on inanimate objects.
Oh, we could put him in the gauntlet.
That's
Maybe we save our gauntlet for a backup, and we try traditional means, and then go towards the gauntlet if need be.
You have a catapult spell, but it only moves things that are 10 feet, like 10 pounds. And there's not much to toss here.
Yeah, those orcs are pretty big.
In this time, one of the orcs has poured a glass of wine for the Grand Master, who is sitting kind of intently staring in your general direction, tapping his foot.
I'm just completely huddled over. I don't want to look at him at all. No eye contact on my part.
Well, all right. My vote is that I think, decline his offer and get the jump on him, because I have a feeling this is going to go south either way, and I would rather start off on the right foot and
I agree.
not get caught on the back beat.
We're in for a fight.
I think we're in for a fight either way. It's either, or do we fight while running, or do we stand against them right here?
So
I think we need the Artificer's Boots, and I'd like to see this pretender gone.
Yeah. We're definitely not offering up one of our friends for...
Oh god, no.
All right,
So you have arrived at your decision then?
we have. And we don't think you have any intent of ever letting our friend go after you borrow their quote-unquote brain.
I like my brain.
I see. Well, I do suppose it is hard to get it out of the jar once you are in the jar. Very well, we'll do
Very
this
well
the
suited,
hard way. He tosses the wine glass over his shoulder, and that is where we will leave off this week. We've been at it for 3.5 hours.
Already
Oh,
actions.
man.
Yay.
You did the hard way, chat.
Wow.
Y'all chose the hard way.
The hard
nice.
way.
Next time, we will pick up with fighting the Grand Master.
I'm gonna be thinking about this all week. I'm gonna
It sounds
comment.
like we made the wrong choice, but what was... I don't think there was a right choice here. It's either
I
give
don't
up
think that was the right choice.
give up our party member or whatever. I mean, which was not going to happen. So naturally, being the
We
capable,
fight.
Go
We
ahead.
can take him. I believe in us.
I think we can take him too.
I mean, we can do it.
Alright.
Yeah.
So that was our first session of Bits D&D.
Yay.
How we all feeling?
That was a lot of fun.
Yay!
Yay, we did it!
Definitely,
Did it?
definitely a bit of an adjustment trying to get a hold on all of the cans and don'ts and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
And y'all did great on your first little combat. We're all having a good time. Chat, what did y'all think?
All right, chat. This is your chance to
Did you have a good time?
just say if you enjoyed it or not. If not, well, I
We
can't
just show
win.
donglies.
Give it the
Joe
hype.
Dangles?
We'll take your face off.
Need a TPK.
TPK. Wow.
I'd like
we
to
can't
keep
do
my
that
head
this
in
early.
a jar, or not in a jar.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Well, I hope Jonathan's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do hope Jim's alright.
We didn't hear the alarm go off, so I think he's still safe
Save
in there.
Jonathan for now.
We hope Jonathan is okay.
We hope.